I would like to make a bet while they can, quote unquote, hear us that Theo forgot to
No,
make us audible.
You can hear us. They can hear
Oh,
us. At least you.
hello.
So,
We are
what's the
live.
deal with airplane peanuts?
Why would you go all the way back to the 90s to whip out a joke?
He likes some old school. Makes sense.
Oh, is he supposed to make an announcement? Oh dear God, everything is organized well. I got this.
Okay, yeah, people can hear us. You know, recently I did realize what's the thing that, like, the channel needs to do, which is put out shorts. The big thing is that I don't want to make shorts, which is the big issue, isn't it? Hey, you can do this. I don't wanna...
I mean, making shorts is hard. Usually, I don't know. I don't feel like they are very comfortable either. Like, I like wearing long trousers.
Damn.
Bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I was about to tell them Dio is gonna be here and everything. We're gonna start. We're just gonna, you know.
Yeah.
I don't understand people that wear shorts. I don't get it.
Facts. Like, I actually think short clothing, like even tank tops and stuff, are very uncomfortable. Like, I usually only wear like very covering stuff.
Don't talk about Febutron like that. She has not been good to anybody.
Febu-chan is a nasty, nasty woman, honestly. Like, she is literally like this meme of like the cutesy character. Like, once you turn around, she just fucking stabs you in the back. We all had such high expectations, and then like, no, she cut off our ankles.
Just like a chihuahua.
It makes sense why she only has her birthday once in every 4 years. Nobody wants to host a birthday party for her.
Wow. We should actually, with the music that's playing, we should like just like talk like NPCs from like Skyrim.
Holy shit. Dorian uploaded some insane peek in the fucking Harmacists media chat. I knew James looked familiar. I don't even know what the image is, but like, wow.
Kind of looks like me.
It kind of looks like you.
Yeah.
Like you?
Like, I
Like
have a bit of a beard, but like the other stuff, yes. Kind of fitting.
Huh.
I mean, I'm not a farmer, really, I have to say. But
We don't know that. You can't prove that
Yeah.
you're not a farmer.
I mean, you are correct about that, yes.
Guys, just in general, has Febu-chan been good to any of you? Like, maybe there's some good Febu-chan news out there, you know? In the world. Maybe...
I beat Radiance in Hollow Knight.
That's supposed to be something you do normally. That's not Febu-chan's fault.
I guess, but I did it in February.
True.
Just like the SpongeBob episode, I'm swiping the floors at night. I beat Hollow Knight in February.
No, I didn't beat Hollow Knight. I beat Radiance. It's different.
Yeah.
See, there is nothing in the game that requires you to do that. I essentially did a challenge run thing.
Yeah, that's how I play Crash Bandicoot as well. I want to get those 117% completion or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
I'm doing a challenge on IRL.
Fair enough.
Do you respawn?
We're playing no respawns.
It's mental.
Hardcore.
Permadeath.
Yeah, it's hectic. You play like each day of the game. You play it like real time. It's insane. So you have to like actually like live the seconds and everything, which feels like
Dude,
you
I
have a lot
never
of
was-
time. But then, damn.
I was never into live service games, so. Hello, Dio.
Hello.
Mataya.
I hope you. I knew something was wrong. I called it. I said it tonight.
We got it. We caught February, you know? Barely.
Pepu-chan is a bad human being, but I think that Marichi is gonna be better. Yeah, it's like Mari and then Chi, like with a minus in between. Like, that's March.
Damn. We have like. Oh, Dio's muted? What?
Dio, you are muted.
Yes, I knew he left someone muted. I called it.
I'm not muted. OBS is.
I bet $5,000 dingoes. I did it.
Hello? I'm not muted. I wasn't muted this time. OBS wasn't recognizing my mic because I plugged it out and plugged it back in. Oh.
Yes, that happens sometimes.
Oh, I didn't even. I made sure I wasn't muted this time. I was not muted.
It's fine. It's fine, guys. It's still February. This is to be expected.
Oh,
This literally was like Febu-chan's last attack.
oh
Now
God.
we are safe.
I swear to God, so my fucking power is gonna go out in this session.
No, my power was gonna go out.
Someone's power's gonna
Oh.
go out. You just have to place bets whose.
Sweet, good
Yeah,
Lord.
place your bets now, and whose power is gonna go out.
Actually, because I didn't.
That's the
do it-
best part of this stream.
Because I didn't do it before, you're gonna have to give me one moment as I see which. Oh, whoops! As I need to test something out to see if this is OBS. Don't mess with me. Do it right.
Have you muted all of
stupid-
us now?
No, I haven't.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I think you should check.
No, I'm just trying to get something to work here. Give me one moment. Okay, there we go.
My-
So this is not working.
My pizza keeps
Okay.
trying to fall.
So as I said,
What did you just say?
he said my pizza keeps trying to fall.
Yeah,
So
it
I-
happened twice now.
as I said before the nightmare happened, I told you all, I think I promised you all, that we would get one, we would see you all in February, and you know we've never lied to you once. You know that's a solid February session that I promised every single one of you in January. I hate this month actually. Actually, what if
This one has like
What if
gained
this-
its own lore out of nowhere.
unironically, in my mind, I have on multiple occasions referred back to the month waifu lore, and I said, "Man, I'm into tall chicks now because Femme-chan, no good actually." I don't know if that's good or bad. That in my mind I've repeatedly thought like, "Oh yeah, no, totally."
I can't believe that due to some fake law we made about the months and turning them into waifus, that your type in woman has completely changed.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I'm big. I'm into tall women now because Febu-chan sucks and I hate her. Oh,
The
God.
month lore is the greatest thing we ever came up with. We're gonna look back at it in 100 years and be like, "Oh, this was the pinnacle of our lives."
We looked down at Febu-chan and was like, "Oh, she's so adorable. What could she ever do?" Turns out she was a little gremlin.
It turns out she fucking cut our kneecaps off
Yeah.
from down there.
The moment we got inside her, she fucked us up.
Oh, Sure Peaks. Hello, welcome. I was gonna say I actually don't recognize Sure Peaks, and then I see their message. I only discovered this like a few days ago and haven't caught up. An in media res thing. Oh, that's gonna be very
Oh, boy.
interesting. Because
gonna
What's
be
an
so
what's an
funny.
what's an in media res thing? What?
so in media res is usually
In the middle of
referring,
things.
in the middle of things. It usually refers to a story that
Oh,
starts.
in media res is a Latin one. I was like, I don't recognize this.
El media res.
I read this with English pronunciation, and I was like, what is this guy talking about? You know, it's like
Yeah,
So it's French.
It usually refers to when the story starts in the middle of the story and then flashes back to the start.
Mm,
That's why. So you could start the story in media res, or like
basically Dragon Ball.
yeah, or technically a lot of stories with like not why do I want to say old timers, what's the one where you forget things? Oh god,
Didn't you just forget it?
You just said that, brother. You just said that.
Amnesia.
What?
Holy Christ.
What is the word where you forget things? I forgot.
Amnesia. Most stories with amnesia start in media res because the characters have forgotten what they. Amnesia. I had amnesia about what amnesia was.
I
That's
think
not
that's
how
what
amnesia
dementia,
works.
Alzheimer's, something else. I don't
I
know.
thought that what
Oh,
PewDiePie
God.
was playing 10 years ago.
Oh.
Sorry.
But yeah, this is certainly going to be an in media res session to start with, all right? Because I've had a while because we had a big break in between this and the last session due to February being a nightmare. But because of that, I've had some time to like really zoom out and think about things. And not only do I have a session for you, but I will say that unless one of the players does some wild stuff that I can't ever think about, that I would never imagine, this is either going to be the second to last or the third to last session, depending on how this goes.
Are you challenging me?
I feel like you're saying that on purpose.
Yeah, he's baiting us.
I only say that because
Dio, we are going to be here the same
Just
time
because-
next year, and the campaign is still gonna be going.
And
You're
you're
just
still
because
going
you
to be
said
saying.
Just because you said that, Ubel is literally, the moment we start, gonna get up and walk straight to the monastery. He's gonna investigate. He's gonna find it easily.
it's going to investigate the anyway. So it's been a while, obviously. So I'll get into a recap. But before I do that, of course, we have to do the introductions as we go, as is tradition. Pero was even here earlier before the session actually started. We gave him a salute. He's doing good. I don't know if he stole his ribbon on Warframe though, but he's doing good. But instead, I guess as a special, the limited edition February Fate Harmacists session. How was February for you? How was February for you, Skorek? Give us your not your fun fact of the day, your fun fact of the month. Because this is our only session in February.
Let's see. So, sorry, I'm chewing.
I shouldn't have started with you. The curse is still active.
It was an interesting month, although, funnily enough, besides the whole, no sessions thing and everything going into utter chaos, it wasn't that bad. I started getting into interactive fiction novels again, and I've started learning their programming language.
You mean like visual novels?
No, not visual novels, interactive fiction novels. So it's just text, and you can choose different stuff, and they have stats and stuff like that. It's called choice.
I know what you're talking about.
Choice games.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like Magium, stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm trying to learn the programming language to try and write one of my own.
Okay.
It's called Choice Script. So yeah, I'm doing that. And I also became really, really good at Hollow Knight. I beat all the Pantheons, I beat every boss hitless. So now I'm kind of done with that game.
Oh yeah, so now you're on the
done
Silk
everything.
Song waiting list. Welcome, fucker.
Yep.
You're gonna be stuck here for the next
Yep.
3 years.
I have. There are
There's
two paths. Either I get on the Silksong waiting list, or I keep going down harder and harder challenges, right? Until I reach the point where the Hollow Knight community is in, where they're at like the third version of an unbeatable boss, because they beat the 2 previous versions of the unbeatable boss, and the developer just keeps making harder versions of the unbeatable boss because they
I fucking
keep
love the
beating
Hollow
it.
Knight developer. He just keeps posting on Twitter how he is too busy playing the Helldivers 2 anniversary instead of coding the game. He's so based.
Giga based.
Bro, that's like so fucking mean.
All right, so yeah, so we got the haul. We get okay. So ScoreX February wasn't that bad, and also as chat reminded us, we did actually have a session in February. It was like really it was February 2nd. I just completely forgot. I did.
Yeah,
I'm gonna. You know what? No.
February started good.
It doesn't. No. That session does not deserve to be in February. I hereby, as the DM, move our February 2nd into January. That's January 33rd. That session happened on January 33rd.
January 2023.
It did not happen in February. It wasn't real.
I want January back. She was better. She's higher in the waifu tier list.
She so is. Anyway, all right. So we got a not bad February. So Polarisu, how was your February? What's your February fun fact? Oh, I do like that it's FFF, February fun fact. Anyway.
So yeah, my FFF February was. Listen, I completely forgot what happened throughout February. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because the most important thing that I learned this month is that when I was drawing one day, I kind of just understood that I no longer have to paste mustaches onto people through Photoshop. I can now just draw mustaches onto people. And so I've been thinking of starting a Patreon where I draw the mustache on, and then like on the Patreon there will be the mustacheless version of the character. Yeah.
It's just like Noah. You just pick up random skills.
And listen, it's just what it is, you know. It's how I am.
That's incredibly funny.
Yeah, and then I took the mustache off of like one character, and I realized the mouth was just a line, and I was like, "That's a lot for $5 on the Patreon."
That sentence was so funny.
That's a lot for $5 on Patreon. Oh god, that's very funny. Yes, yeah, and congratulations to I think it was Risu and Skorak both did voice work for Dom's video, right?
Wait, Dimdom posted his video?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Oh, here's another
ago.
fun fact. On a completely different server, like when no one knows anybody here or anything, someone just pinged me and said, "Hey, I see. Did you voice in this video?" Is that? And I went, "Uh oh." So, good news. His video is getting good reach. Bad
you got
news.
new.
Yeah, they now know I voice a very
Where is the video?
sexual catgirl.
You got nuked.
Oh, did it
Really?
get nuked? I was looking for it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to go look. The video got nuked.
Huh?
Oh, I did
What do
not
you-
know that. I didn't
What do you
even-
mean it got nuked? I was literally gonna watch it tonight during load shedding. What do you?
Yep, it got
Yep,
nuked.
yeah, the got nuked.
Welcome, Dom.
Bro,
Wait,
it
Dimdom.
was going. I am so fucking livid, man. That video was doing numbers.
Unlucky. I mean, you can.
I didn't know you did the
yeah.
face review.
Yeah, didn't have that on face for a while ago. Like
Lord,
years
I've
ago.
been living under a rock.
Wait, he did?
Yeah, one of his older videos. You guys don't watch Dim Dom videos? Wait.
But he
Oh
streamed
my
with his face in like videos like
Yeah,
several
yeah.
times.
That's what I've just
No,
seen.
I know that you've once streamed with your face cam on, so I know what you look like, but I didn't know Dimdom did it.
Yeah, Dim Dom,
Who?
yeah.
Skorak, who were you talking about there?
Oh, Risu.
Oh, okay.
No, Dim Dom. In
The
multiple
video's gone.
in a couple of his videos, he whatchamacallit, he has he just like is sitting on his couch talking to the camera.
Oh yeah,
Fair enough.
fuck, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, I do remember.
I am so glad my image just evaporates from your minds when you stop looking at me. I'm such a generic man.
No, mine didn't. I'm the biggest Dim Dom fan. You can meet Dim Dom in the Dim Dom Discord. That's his Discord. It's called fuck.
Yeah.
Someone actually renamed it to Dio's Discord. God damn it.
Bro, I really hope this whole thing gets resolved though. That video was peak.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh wow.
Man, my
That's
voice
very
acting
cool.
Anyways,
career is
dude.
ruined.
Why did it get
Yeah, yeah,
removed?
yeah.
I assume it's because it's a review of Black Souls.
Just for reference, when we were doing the recordings, I kept asking if I could sound more sexual, and he kept saying no. But I was like, it works with the character. But I understand
was-
now.
Which is now in retrospect incredibly funny because the reason YouTube gave me for nuking the video is in fact audio.
Oh,
It was
that's
me. I nailed it.
interesting. Audio, fascinating.
Wait, which
And
part?
it wasn't claimed either. It was just so it wasn't like copyright music or anything like that.
It's content guidelines.
Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah, it was the content guidelines. It's
Unfortunate.
literally in the middle of the video. One of the instances where I say the bad word just got nuked, and then I have written a long apology of hey, this has a bit of purpose. I wanna be crass about the subject matter because it's serious.
Weird question, but can you say the bad word right now for no reason?
no.
No, he cannot.
Listen, Kaiser is here, and you know I gotta treat him well. Okay.
Oh, good lord.
What?
What?
Huh?
YouTube PTSD horrors.
On his video apology arc already.
There are varying scales of like YouTube like awareness in this voice call. You know.
All right. And I also heard. Oh, by the way, I got pinged 'cause I was in that Discord. Also, apparently, Arknights Abridged is still alive, Skorak.
Yes, it is still
Hell yeah.
alive. We're still doing it.
There we go.
You know,
February wasn't
stuff.
February wasn't completely bad, right, Kaiser? How was your February?
Oh, dude.
Nothing ever good starts when you say it like that. Try to be more positive. Say it in a more positive man. Like, oh, dude.
Dude, bro. There's still oxygen left, man.
Oh fuck.
Unrelated. Yeah. Onto more positive things. This week I made a crazy discovery, and that is that chocolate chip mint ice cream is real, and it actually tastes incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
thought-
Holy shit.
I always
I
thought that
know.
it was one of those food items that were invented for American cartoons. I never thought that it was real. I was like, this exists only in Phineas and Ferb.
Wait until he learns about pistachio.
No, we have that here. That's normal.
Pistachio, is that a fruit?
Yeah, that's a fruit
Not like
from
a
Crash
nut.
Bandicoot.
It's so funny. We only got cookie dough ice cream like last year here.
What do you
For-
mean?
Oh,
for
you
the
just-
world
what-
country,
what-
man.
What do you mean?
Wait, cookie dough ice cream? Not like cookie
Yeah,
ice
cookie dough
cream?
Yeah, like cookie
flavor.
dough, yeah. You ever had chocolate chip cookie dough?
What?
So I learned that so Baskin Robbins closed down here in South Africa. But they have the 31 flavors. But a friend who lives in Japan was telling me how she went there, and they call it they don't call it Baskin Robbins, they call it 31, which when you say in a Japanese accent is shitty-one. So
Unfortunate. But all right.
I'm amazed by how Skorek doesn't know cookie dough ice cream. That's like
Yeah,
peak.
when
It's like-
you so you're not so notably don't actually eat cookie dough raw. Don't do
yeah,
that.
yes, please do, please do.
Don't do that.
I didn't. I
literally-
turned out
my
fine.
my mom made cake yesterday, and I ate raw dough
God damn.
because it's actually incredible.
I mean, it tastes good. I won't lie to you, but you're not supposed to do it.
Yes,
I just imagine an adult man hunched over the dough bowl, just sinking his fingers and then putting it in his mouth.
I do, and I have facial hair, and I'm still gonna do it.
Delicious.
This is great. We're feeding the bar graph.
The bar graph? Oh yes, the bar graphs. That... oh, that post was awesome. Anyway,
I hope I appear in the PDF file. How long did I speak?
yeah, Dom and Rain, who sometimes pop in. They have like the
Oh,
little
yes,
tiny bar graphs.
yes. Yes.
But all right, and so I guess it comes to me. Hello, I'm Dio's Opinions, who has promised multiple times that I'll make content, and then I record my voice, and then I get to editing, and then February happens. It is what it is. There are 2 separate videos that I have the entire script written out, and I have voice recordings, and I've just never edited them. But anyway,
Can I say, is it just me or for anybody else here? Like, we've talked about February, but did anybody else here feel like February was just like the length of 3 months?
yeah, it felt so long.
Like,
Dude,
it
it's
felt so long.
It's been a. I thought we were in March already, and then I looked
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, we still
We've
got.
been in
it's-
2024 for like the past decade.
It's not over, by the way. There's still a whole week for February. It's in case you think it's over. Don't. We might not have a session in February after this, but we're still in it. But yeah, my February has been awful. It's been abysmal, no good. I don't want to. There's too much to cover. So just a small little taste, okay? My earbuds broke, which I've had for a while. Very expensive earbuds because I like music. So I was like, okay, that's fine. As I go to print off the ship, or I go to get a refund and get the printing label for the refund, I realized I typed in my email address wrong. So I had to get with customer service for like 30 minutes trying to tell them, hey, I need my shipping label. I sent it to the wrong email. They finally give me the shipping label. Okay. We drive out to my local UPS drop-off place, which is a local auto parts store. When I get in, the guy tells me, unfortunately, we stopped being a UPS drop-off 2 days ago. So I have to go across town just in order to drop off the earbuds so I can get my refund. Nightmare. Just small things like that. Now, you can imagine that situation, and that situation repeated about 100 times. That's been my February. Nightmare. No good.
Kanye West just posted a naked picture of his wife on his Instagram.
Awesome. 10 out of 10. But okay, so the real, actually, hold on, wait, I got this. So the real shit, at the end of it all though, what's gonna save February, what's gonna usher us out of this terrible month and into March? Monster Hunter Wilds, baby. Monster Hunter Wilds, baby. Can we get some claps in the chat for Monster Hunter Wilds? Huh?
I am clapping. It's just not coming through on the mic.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I've been looking forward to Monster Hunter for so long.
We are very lucky that Monster Hunter Wilds is not out already.
You are, because I would have canceled. If Monster Hunter Wilds came out today, I absolutely would have canceled, and we would have had no sessions in February. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
You ain't gonna sugarcoat it, buddy.
Exactly. But all right, and I see as I look over in my OBS that Para from the grave. Very funny that he's here during this session, because he will potentially also be showing up actually in the session itself. Or at least
wait, do you actually like need me? Because like if you need me, I can be here.
I don't need you. If you want to, you can. But Yamada may or may not be briefly showing up during this session. Because this session is going to be.
Honestly, I was just gonna yell mustard and then leave.
Mustard? Is that your
mustard?
only? Is that your how's your February been going? Mustard? Come on, do it. Give us your best yell.
You could say.
Give us your best mustard yell.
Mustard.
Hell yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
Oh, the mustard for it's the.
So I've been listening to rap.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Oh.
It's
yeah. So
Kendrick
basically,
Lamar thing.
at work, I was listening to rap songs basically, and I was listening to "Squabble Up" by Kendrick Lamar. That's it.
No.
That's it.
Bow bow.
Oh, Bao Bao, yeah. A boat goes binted. I've been watching more VTuber clips. Help me. Anyway,
Wait, when the
It's
fuck did they
time.
put Katawa Shoujo on Steam?
yeah, it's been there. I think so. Anyway,
Oh. Okay,
So-
well, let me. How we in the library? Go to game.
Let's get into a reminder because it's been a while since our last session. Primarily, last session was, and I quote, the chill session that I had always promised for the entire campaign. We actually got to a chill session, okay? And during
It
Yeah,
all
cool.
takes just one player character to die.
Sure, it was a chill session.
And during that mostly chill session, most of the characters had come together after the vortex storm in the east, where you guys had finally managed to, with Lydia and Akar and the Blair family finally coming to help out, get most of the villagers that wanted to leave outside of Musuzeme. After that had happened, you all had come back, recollected, revived Liz, and were in the Blair Manor, and had just like mostly talked to each other about what had happened and what needed to be done. Specifically, Fred finally had come back after doing his research for God knows how long, had informed you that there were 2 pieces of the curse that were left. There was a large piece in the Scar Grounds that were in that boneyard that Yamada had been to, that none of you actually know what's down there, but it was just for out of character knowledge. It was Lucille's gate before she passed away. And the other part of the curse that is left is locked away behind the Rakshasha's cave. The gate that was owned by Triple U before he had revoked himself as a gatekeeper. Those are the only 2 pieces of the curse that are left, and the plan was, at the moment, to reconvene, everyone take a rest, which everyone did except for Elizabeth, which we'll get to, and to go and take care of the curse behind the Rakshasa cave, and then look out forward and take on the rest of the curse, because there are only 2 left. There's only 2 pieces of the curse. Daigo is dead, Hephaestus is dead, Lucille is dead. All that you have to do is take care of the curse, and then the campaign will be finished, because you would have saved the day. Besides that,
Let's go.
Raul Laria and Ishvolda had, I think, informed you through Alexander that they would be leaving. They had gotten the mana that they needed from the ley line thanks to Yamada's promise, and they're fine. And so if...
Are they gonna at least keep the promise?
We'll see. We'll see. We haven't gotten there yet. Calm down. But the... So, and in terms of the Grail War, as far as you know, because Saber has still never showed up, Saber doesn't exist. It is only the player character's servants, so Ryder and Archer. And then there is Caster, who is owned by Raul Laria, who technically owned by Raul Laria, who doesn't want to be there. And then I think I had let you all know that Berserker is still kind of still around. And everyone else, that's it, seemingly. Like we're at the end. And we are nearing the end of the campaign. However, as we've been nearing the end of the campaign, Elizabeth has been having some problems. Elizabeth has bounced back and forth between being a good person and a bad person, between whether or not, like, what it takes to be a leader, what it takes to rule the Blair family, whether or not, like, what she wants in this world. And her father, who had finally come back a few sessions ago, had mentioned to her that he wants her to not hold the burden of being the sole leader, because he could see that it's forcing her to make really tough decisions that are going to break her. And so he had suggested that she step down as the sole leader of the Blair family and share that responsibility with her brother, James. Both at the same time, both James and Elizabeth did not like this. James thinks that he was not worthy, and Elizabeth thinks that this is a betrayal of everything that she's ever worked for. She has always worked for her whole entire life to be like her father. And now her father is telling her, I don't want you to be like me. And so we had left off last session with her running off into the woods while I think everyone else just got rest. As I think I had mentioned to you, Archer whispers inside of your head, I told you that they would never understand. A leader stands alone.
Also, you know, To add, it didn't help that the person that made this suggestion was the one person she dislikes the most in Musuzeme.
Correct. Yes. As a reminder, the reason why Gaius Blair was making this suggestion was not only because of his own thoughts, but also because Ubel had basically made a stipulation saying, "Hey, I'll only help you and go along with you. Me and Noah will only help you and go along with you if you promise to make it so that Elizabeth is not the leader of the Blair family anymore, and that we are not following her." And at the moment, also, Archer, even though she's talking to Elizabeth, is actually Noah's servant. This is, I think, the lowest fall for Elizabeth's character at the moment, where her father is quote-unquote turned against her. Ubel has yet again betrayed her. And she doesn't even have a servant. She is out here alone in the wilderness as the snow falls down. It is not. It's the lowest she's ever been. I'm almost positive.
It's probably probably in the campaign.
in the entire campaign, this is probably no good. Oh.
Listen, I wanted to make a poll for this, but I couldn't. But I just wanted to make a thing that said, where do you think Saber's going to show up first? In this campaign or in Stardale at this rate?
Oh god. Well, yes, welcome Sure Peaks to the In Media Res. Things happened. I'm so sorry that I completely forgot we had an In Media Res person here, other than Dorian. Yes, welcome. But okay. So Elizabeth, yes, as I had mentioned, it has still been night.
Jack, she might be close physically. You know, it might just be the whispering in my mind. She could just be there.
Well, so you are walking through the snow. As reminder, it has been. I don't know how time is an illusion inside of in character, but it has been a long while since you have even seen the daylight. It has been eternal night ever since Yamada did the funny thing. The night sky completely, by the way, as a side note, completely blank of stars. It is a deep new moon darkness. The only real light at night coming off of like the snow that reflects off of the ground. But other than that, it is dark inside of Musuzeme, and has been for a while, since around, for you, the Vortex, or a little bit before that, actually. But this comes off of the same exact night. Snow, your feet are crunching through the snow. It is cold outside. You are alone, probably the most alone you have felt in a long while, as you feel betrayed by a lot of different people at the moment. And as you feel betrayed and are all alone, you hear that voice. I told you. They will never understand.
Archer?
You don't sound like you're happy to see me.
Being any one emotion at the moment is rather tricky.
I understand. Trust me, I've been there. All different kinds of emotions all at the same time. And you had mentioned you don't know whether or not she's just inside of your mind or whether or not she's actually there with you. I will say that very slowly she materializes about 30 feet away from you, sitting on top of like a rather large rock. And weirdly, when she materializes, she's not even really looking at you. She has her back turned towards you, and she's like looking up towards the sky a little bit. But she's still speaking to you in your mind through the mental connection.
So, no, eh?
You've always been curious to me, little Eris. Stuck somewhere between an actual ruler and just an innocent little girl. And when she says that, she actually does look down at you. And when she looks down at you, framed against the dark sky, there is an unsettling feeling about her. There is something different about Archer as she has appeared.
Hmm. Well, I suppose that's why we kind of got along, eh? Easier to be your chaotic self against someone who doesn't really know what they are.
Perhaps. But I do very much understand exactly what the emotions you're going through right now are. Hatred, love, regret, all swirling around in a vortex inside of your mind. You know, for all of our differences, not just you and me on the personal level, but all the differences between our peoples. And she looks up towards the sky again. There are some things that all life share. Roll me a perception. Welcome back into the campaign. As a reminder, you have a hero point.
Perception.
As a reminder, you have
You
a
can
hero
eye roll
point.
perception.
Let's see. I would never high roll perception. That is
You
literally
would not,
that
it's
is just
against your
something
character.
Liz
Yeah,
can't
it's against
do.
your character. It's against your
Yeah.
character to high roll perception. Holy, your perception is always so abysmally bad. It's incredible. All I will say is that she is positioned, as mentioned, she has her back to you, so you can't really make out a lot of her features. And there's something weird about the way that she is holding her right arm. But beyond that, it just seems to be normal Archer, specifically the female version of Archer that she usually isn't around you.
So, wouldn't say I don't appreciate the company, but you don't exactly want to appear without any purpose to someone.
Am I not? I appear with purpose and without. We've always been like that. It is in our nature to be unpredictable. Perhaps I truly did just want company on this moonless night.
Very well then. I guess you'll reveal your intentions on your own sooner or later. I'm not exactly sure what I am gonna do.
Struggling with what to do. And this time, when her eyes look back to you, almost the exact opposite from from before. So when she had looked at you before, there was this like weird, unsettling feeling on the pit of your stomach, and now when she looks at you, there is like this deep sympathy. And she looks just like almost like not necessarily pity, but actual sympathy. Like she understands what you're going through, as if she's completely 180'd her emotional state.
I suppose it's the first time I felt like even if I swung my sword hard enough at something, it would just go away.
I have only ever been honest with you, Elizabeth. The same way that my kind has only ever been honest with your kind. My intentions? And she looks up towards the night sky once again, her eyes continuously flicking back between you and the sky. But this time, when she does, she reaches up her hand towards the sky, and slowly, one by one, stars appear in the sky. And this is weird, just as a out of character pullback from Elizabeth. You don't know who Archer really is yet, whether she's Titania or Oberon or something else. You know that she's probably almost certainly a Fae, But as to what her actual powers are, you don't really know. She's like changed nature and whatnot, but altering the stars themselves seems like it would be outside of her power level. Maybe it's something specifically with whatever's going on or whatnot, but she clearly did that.
Yeah. In Elizabeth's mind, this is weird. It could also just be an illusion.
Correct. It could just be an illusion. Come,
Well,
sit over here. Let me tell you a story.
She looks over, shrugs. Fair enough, I suppose. Don't got much to lose.
To me, you are nothing more than a little lost girl. You always will be, no matter if you take up Castor's offer and choose to become powerful, choose to become a ruler, or choose to do what your father wants to. You are nothing more than a lost little mortal, swaying in the wind. I'm far too old to see you as anything else. And there is now not sympathy, not a creepy feeling, and for some reason you even feel like this is a much more honest expression from Archer, perhaps even more honest than you have ever seen her. There is a deep loneliness and isolation as she sits on this tall rock looking up towards the now starry sky. Still no moon, though. Long ago, we used to claim this world as ours the same way that you did. Long ago, this land was very different. It was not covered in icy snow or machines. It was beautiful. And as she says this, almost as if she is speaking her memories into reality, the world around you shifts a little bit. I think it's actually very similar to when you would walk close to the tower when Hephaestus was in it, and you had seen flowers growing on the ground, and Maria, her hair had started to turn unwhite. As it seems like it's a similar-esque power, as Archer begins to speak, and grass begins to sprout from underneath the snow. Flowers begin to bloom, and the stars begin to twinkle a little bit more as Archer pulls in her legs a little bit, and she reminisces more on the times of old. In the past, magic flowed through this land as naturally as air did. It was a free place. It was beautiful. We loved this place. It was our home, as much as the Dreamlands were. And yet, after many years of freedom in this beautiful world, we met others. We thought that others would share in our dream. Others would share in our love for the world. We unknowingly made a pact with you mortals that we would share this one. Do you remember your talks with the Rakshasa?
Aye, vividly.
Our kind cannot lie. We do not always tell the full truth, but our kind cannot lie. And so when we had made the pact with the mortals, we had never understood what true lies were. Being immortal, we thought that a pact would always be upheld by both sides, for they always were between us. But the mortals, their lives are fleeting. They spend hours contemplating what to do next, while we spend centuries. And so, a pact of upholding nature for us, an eternal thing that we could never betray, was only a fleeting memory long forgotten by your kind. Nothing more than a dream. And so, as we had willingly given up our right to rule over this land to you, we watched helplessly from our dreamland as you turned this world into chaos. As you burned forests down, as you carved the mountains into nothing. And notably, she looks over towards the mines that you operated. As you took and took and took, and long since forgot we even were real, that you even once walked alongside us as equals. There is only one thing I have ever regretted in my life, Elizabeth. One singular thing. It is trusting others. I have never betrayed myself. My kind has never betrayed us because we cannot. Our word is our bond, no matter how chaotic or evil we may be. Trust between mortals is fickle and means nothing. Your bonds break as easy as the wind. What do I want?
Oh,
And as she says, what do I want? The grass that she had made around you in this small little dream bubble almost slowly begins to crackle from behind you. Do you look behind you at all, or are you just still like looking out towards the sky?
yeah.
As you look behind you, the fire suddenly ignites onto the grass and starts to burn away rather quickly towards you both. What do you do?
I get up and I look at her. I'm ready to act if things actually get out of hand, but for now I'm just gonna see what she will say.
She does not seem to recognize the fire at all. She's just chilling. She does not look like she's attacking you.
I'll remain standing, but I'm not gonna do anything else for now.
So the fire comes closer and closer and closer, and she does not move. If you want something, the only person you could ever trust is yourself. And the fires get closer and closer and closer. Do you jump down?
Well, I suppose if your word is your bond, do you intend to kill me, Archer?
No. Do you trust her?
I kind of smirk and I'm like, I see. I will jump down.
And so, yes, so you jump down, and as you can easily jump over with your assurance athletics. I'm not gonna even make you roll. You pass. You jump down over the rock and over the fires that are raging. Over the fires that are raging, and she does not move at all. And if you look behind her, look behind you towards her, she just lets the fires consume her. And they do consume her. You see and you watch as they burn her away. She does not scream, she does not move, she just lets the fires burn her away until she is nothing more than a black, ugly husk. And then she speaks to you. Some of us want revenge. And as she says that, out of the black husk that she is, she's just a human in a humanoid shape. Eyes slowly open here and there all over her body. all up and down her arms, where her arms should be, her legs. Just so many small, tiny pairs of eyes, and they look around, and then they narrow in on you. Some of us want nothing more than to make you all remember why you made a contract with our kind in the first place. That betraying us and our trust was not a good thing to do. However, and as she says, however, the eyes slowly close, and she goes to stand up. And as she stands up, the black form that was burnt, almost like burnt skin, cracks almost as if like she's breaking out of a shell, and she stands up in her male form, the Oberon form, as she looks down at you. However, just as many of us want nothing more than to simply return. Return back to a time when magic filled this land. I understand complex emotions. We understand all of the voices raging out. Anger, regret, nostalgia, sorrow. We understand. The vortex. I cannot answer what you should do, but I can give you advice. As someone who understands you. And Oberon, quote unquote, turns to face you fully for the first time. Do not ask what your father wants. Do not ask what the serpent wants. Do not ask what your friends want, what your brother wants, what your sister wants. I have asked you before, what do you want, Elizabeth Blair? Because that fake caster was right. Your father was correct. Power will isolate you from others. No one will understand the choices that you have to make. And yet, do you want it either way? Do you want to rule, or do you want to be a scared little girl that rules alongside her brother? It would mean betraying them. I will make no lies or deceptions about such. None of your family want this path for you. Yet I am not serving them. And this is the only time that she has ever said that she is serving you in any capacity, even though she's not even your servant.
Yeah. My main goal is to see them safe and content. Their objections about how I achieve that are of secondary concern.
All right. Then slowly, the burnt black vines of the plants that were burned away slowly reach up from the ground and circle your circle Archer, almost as if like grasping tendrils that are around him. As slowly he reaches his hand out, his palm facing forward, and the vines slowly place a single rose in his hand. And he goes to hand it to you.
As for what I want to be a goddamn hero.
And she's gonna take the rose.
I can arrange that for you. However, and as you go to take the rose, he does not let it go from his hand for a moment. I want something as well. I may have underestimated that caster's friend. And you can now see Archer's right hand is a little hurt.
General Arya did this?
I was not aware that mortals of this age were as strong as him. Him and me are incompatible in many ways.
I saw it last time you fought him. Some sort of protection from arrows, perhaps?
You can call this one of my whims. It potentially is. However, right now in this moment, I want the Grail.
I see. However, you do only have one wish. I don't think you can wish for both revenge and to walk this earth.
I cannot promise what wish I will make when I obtain it. We are many. We have many desires.
Very well. I think that was something we both knew from the very moment we began working together. What your wish will be is something I was always prepared to face in one way or another.
Then allow me to give you a piece of advice if we are truly working together once again. My power comes from dreams. Even though I despise it, I am strongest inside of the curse's domain. I want you to take that rose inside of the gate when you go to destroy the piece of the curse today. Summon
Infiltrate you into its very core.
Yes. Summon me there.
Very well. And do you intend to still be Noah's servant?
Noah is a cute one, but he does not have my ambition. I'll allow him to think that I'm his servant for now. After all, if you are to win this Grail War, Ryder will have to die.
That is logical. And from what I understand, Ryder is not one you are particularly eager to face.
I was unwilling to go along with this plan from the start because of my deep hatred for the curse. However, if we are to win, I am to swallow my grudges. Not even Ryder could stop me if you go along with my plan. Deliver this singular rose to the core of the curse, and we will win.
I see. Well, on the topic of winning, should I burn my whole body? It has the curse in it. I would imagine destroying it would destroy it, but... Well, you seem much more equipped mentally to know how to actually perform that. I don't want to just release it.
You could hand it over to me.
Are you gonna destroy it?
Yes.
Very well then. I hold some attachments to that particular form, but well, I wouldn't really be where I am now if I let those attachments control me.
Good. Be free, Elizabeth Blair. I would not have admonished you, well, no matter what path you chose, so long as you chose it out of your own free will. So long as you did not follow to the tune of others and allow their she pauses. Their fickle attachments decide on who you are. Because then it would be like watching me making the same mistake. As they begged and pleaded to me. They promised so sweetly that they would honor our deal forevermore. And then they faded away like ashes. And their sons and grandsons long forgot such a promise.
Now, a promise that the entirety of humanity could always remember and uphold. Sounds like we might need a being of thought for that.
Perhaps. Perhaps it is time I swallowed my pride. And with that, with Archer now seemingly wanting to win the Grail War on a quote-unquote whim, Archer dematerializes, and as Archer does, along with him go the stars. And the burnt ground, the remnants of the flowers, the vines, all of it disappears and returns to snow as if it was nothing more than a midsummer's night dream. Except for the rose. The rose is the only thing that stays.
I guess I'll put the rose like on one of the pockets, like on my suit, like one of the chest pockets, you know, like James Bond.
Oh, all right then.
To be a hero. I like the sound of that.
Hey, that's what Yamada said before.
Oh no.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh man! All right. That wasn't, by the way. That was. Hey, Elizabeth is doing the same thing you were doing.
What is she doing? What is she doing?
Down. She's running it down. Oh,
damn,
boy.
insane.
Oh, can't be a hero. Jean d'Arc would disagree.
Kaiser, we're fucked. We can't just like kill this curse in peace.
We can't just kill the curse in peace. Oh. So, you guys at the actual Blair Manor itself wake up.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk to Luvia.
Oh yes, apologies, I had forgotten. So yes, we can do that.
It's okay. I had also forgotten. Luckily, I wrote it down on a piece of paper.
Thank you. So, yes, while everyone else is slowly going to bed, I think, so there's a little bit of a rewind, you go to talk to Luvia, who is still inside of her magically made cage that I think Albert made in one of the earlier sessions when you had decided to lock her up.
Yeah. Did she eat anything?
She had eaten, I think that someone had given her food. I don't remember if it was James or Albert, but someone had given her food and she ate like a little bit of it. But then she like looks up at you, kind of like confrontational as you go to walk over. What? Come to gloat?
No, I came to check how you were doing. I hate seeing you like this, you know.
have all the power in the world to change it. Through magic, all things are possible, including breaking these fucking bars.
Yeah, and I was gonna sit down on, like the, what do you call the edge of a couch? I don't know, the handle part. Why am I having such a hard time with this word all of a sudden? But yeah, it's gonna sit down and. Why did you admire him so much?
There's a very like nostalgic expression that she gets. I am not going to lie to you or pretend that he was a good person. I know very well that Hephaestus that he had caused a lot of death. However, and she like almost as if she's looking at something like she's staring out into the distance as if she is living inside of her own memory as she says as she starts to speak. He was one of the only people in the world that saw the world as it could be instead of seeing it as the terrible place that it is. Noah, this world is rotten. Wars rage on in every corner of this world. People die every day from diseases with no cure, and the never-ending cycle of human hatred will eventually devour us. Even if it means giving up a part of ourselves, I wanted to believe in that dream. I still want to believe in that dream. That beautiful, ephemeral idea that he could bring us all together. He could defeat despair itself.
In a way, I guess he kind of did make that world. Because of the war and how America was split, I guess I spent most of my life not really seeing everything that was as bad as you say it is. Coming here was a slap in the face.
He has always made decisions that others could not. I asked him why he created the weapon that split the America in half. His answer was simple. And you can almost... it doesn't actually happen. There are no power of dreams, but you could imagine like a quote-unquote flashback, as it were, as Hephaestus stands upon a devastated land in front of him with a giant smoking crater, thousands if not millions of bodies lying on the ground dead, fires everywhere, a scene of absolute carnage, and he just turns back to you. It was to stop greater destruction. Out of two evils, he will always choose the lesser evil, and if someone does not choose, then the greater evil will prevail. If the war had managed to continue to rage on, how many more lives would have been lost? If he has to play the villain to achieve a good, he does not care. That is the type of man he is, and that is why he will succeed in the end. And a twinge, I think the chat had pointed it out, no one had directly told Luvia that Hephaestus is dead. as you see that she is still clinging on to the hope of this fanciful dream that will now never be.
Noah looks down. I didn't try to kill him. I don't even think I technically did.
I'd heard you chatted about it yesterday. I do not believe he's dead. And roll me perception.
I perceive.
Somehow
I do
better
perceive.
than Elizabeth's. Goddamn, Scorax rolls are so terrible on perception. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's incredible. You see that as she says, he's not dead, she tightens her fist, as if she's trying to convince herself of that. I think you specifically, it was Ubel specifically that it saw. You were teleported out. I think Ubel may have mentioned it to you though. That the Hephaestus isn't just dead. He's uber dead.
Yeah. And if he is gone, what are you going to do?
Hephaestus will never die. He is the father of all machines and the father of our dream. Even if you were to somehow kill him, all that would mean is that someone takes up his mantle. But he is hope to us. To me. Is he not to you? Was it not him that brought you to Pandora? Not him that showed you what magic could truly be like? That through magic, anything is possible, no matter how grand the ideal.
It was, but I did try to reach out to him. I know what he wanted to do, and I understand that he had to do what he did.
Hephaestus will never die, even if Reginald has. And she actually separates his actual name there, obviously, as a reminder of his actual name is Reginald. Hephaestus is an idea, is an ideal. And Hephaestus will never be forgotten. There will always be a Hephaestus. You can kill a man. You cannot kill a god.
When I was in that dream world of his, all those trapped souls, they were in pain.
It is just like the weapon that ended the war. How many must die so that the rest can live peacefully? Someone has to make the choice. Because if no one makes the choice, if there is no Hephaestus, then the greater evil will always win.
But if everyone in there was in pain, and he himself was as well, then who benefits?
The survivors. There are those that could have inherited the dream well, that will inherit the dream.
I see. Noah's gonna stand up.
All right.
You were, both of you, great teachers to me.
And there is her usual confident facade cracks a little bit. As she does get like genuinely emotional, and she smiles over at you. And you are a great student.
But I guess I was always, and probably will always be bad at making decisions, huh?
Yes. Even if you inherited his powers, you seemingly did not inherit his will. But we are all different people, with our own lives to walk.
I mean, it's just like a lot of pressure. You know?
It is not too late, you know. And she looks over at you, and there is a spark of hope in her eyes as she does. If it is true that you have killed Reginald, his legacy is your birthright. The dream would respond to you.
He thinks about that. And then he looks over to Honey.
Honey,
Well, I said looks over.
Yeah. Honey cannot answer this question for you. Honey has always long since thought that Hephaestus was right and that he was very wrong at the same time. Honey feels like this is something you must decide on your own.
That makes sense. Well, he looks to Luvia.
However, Luvia, you see that as you look over to her, she's looking up at the clock as a reminder. Her and clocks, the tick, tick, tick of time, always moving, and then she looks back over to you and holds your gaze. You are seemingly running out of time to choose. If what Fred said was true last night, and there are truly only 2 parts of the curse left, you will only have 2 more chances to do what Hephaestus wanted. You either have to go to the 3rd tower in the south and activate it, or you will have to manually override the curse when you go to the gate tomorrow. If you pass up on these 2 chances, there will be no more time. And truthfully speaking, with the Guardian still in the way, the 3rd tower is... You have until tomorrow.
We'll keep that as a last resort.
Do you go to get up and leave then?
Yeah.
She waits until you almost completely walk away, until finally she says somewhat loudly, I do not know if he loved you. I do not know if he was capable of love after the things that he had done, things that he had seen. But he did care for you. In a weird, Hephaestus kind of way. And you remember at the very end when, instead of just trying to kill you, he had desperately tried to get you to understand his vision before you had rejected him. And then he died.
I'm never going to talk to another NPC again.
Oh boy. So we have currently 2 separate plots that could potentially for so
For legal reasons.
For legal reasons, during this meeting, during this fight against the curse behind Ubel's gate of all places, we have potentially 2 separate betrayals. We have potentially Noah claiming his birthright and becoming the leader of the dream, becoming the owner of the dream, and we have Elizabeth potentially allowing Archer to take take hold of the center of the dream. So in Ubel's fucking gate, by the way.
In his birthright.
I'm just gonna throw another curveball. I'm gonna throw another curveball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, yeah. Sorry. I was listening to like the stream because like it's really buggy. So yeah. Basically, you guys don't know anything about the curse. I don't know anything about the curse. Like, what the fuck he's doing right now.
It's just like the Bloodborne Hunter's Dream thing. Kind of, yes. You're in media res, so I'm not gonna break it down entirely. But there are dreamlands in Tibet.
You know, it's quite funny is that, first of all, we need to fucking get rid of the AFK channel. I've been moved there twice while all of this was happening.
Oh no!
Second, it's actually kind of funny that all of this is going on at the moment because Ubel is actually in a really positive mindset at the moment. Like, he is actually sitting there like... he is there like, at this moment, everything is moving in the right direction. You know what? And the thing is, his literal thoughts at the moment is, on one hand, the whole situation with Amir and Akar being gone, Lydia and so on being gone, and so on, and his family basically being wiped off the face of the earth is, of course, taxing on him. But the way he deals with it is, the moment this whole situation is taken care of and the gate is deleted and the curse is deleted and all of that, he is still like 19 or something. This is a fresh new start. Every single thing will be dealt with. After that, he can go out there and somehow live his life, maybe travel the world or something.
Yeah, and you had kind of fought your demons the session prior to this, I think, where Lydia had asked you that final chance, do you just want to leave with us? And you had said, no, I'm going to fight my demons. Me and James have talked stuff out. He's actually a chill guy. Surprisingly, James being your ally out of all of them after all of this. But the
and future husband.
And future husband, yeah. but yeah, it's wild because Ubel has already fought off his demons, where Elizabeth and Noah are now getting their demon arc, as it were, where everyone is getting, before the campaign ends, that final chance to turn evil like your mother did. That
A
final
demon,
chance.
demons came back out from the dead round 2.
Oh,
We were
because
a party for like a quarter of a session.
yeah. Because Ubel's whole thing was always about like not wanting to live up to his past, like wanting to run away and not wanting to accept it. And so the final, like Lydia being like, "Hey, you want to come with us? We can just leave." And you were like, "No, I have to do this." And now you're going back.
Yeah, and
to,
like he's like, once this is done and dealt with, then you can leave and have a fresh start, because then Musu Zeme is basically done for. Nobody lives here anymore. All the
Yep.
people I know are either gone or dead. I'm gonna go to, I don't know, visit New York City, eat a deep dish pizza.
Oh, but well, so yeah, so you all wake up. Oh the god, remembering Hephaestus. I'm actually super glad you talked to Luvia there. That was sick. Awesome. But yeah, so you all wake up one by one. Luvia's still there.
Finally, full HP after 10
Yes,
sessions.
after 10 sessions. Fred waves off to you all, specifically patting James and the Pandora people, like so you as well, Noah. Don't you fuckers die on me, all right? As Fred, like, he hands out, and actually, for all of you, as you wake up, you all get authentic New York coffee. As Fred and whatchamacallit, Fred got a little bit of Luvia's help while locked up, but Fred actually makes you all a authentic, terrible tasting New York coffee.
I was about to say, Dio, is this supposed to be a good thing?
Abysmal. No, it's terrible.
Okay.
But it's just like how
Does he
honey.
at least?
It's just like how honey used to make, Noah.
Is it like Starbucks? Like he writes our names on the mugs? I think. That's what
Yeah, like, do we have a
so
do we have an UAL in here?
So, yeah, so he does. They weren't your mugs, by the way, Elizabeth. Most of them weren't. There were the mugs that they had brought with them from Pandora, and that survived the plane crash. Some of them were chipped and whatnot, and he didn't actually write your names on it. He wrote like nicknames for all of you. So Noah's is Nerd 2, while Nerd 1 is James. Ubella's that guy that smells weird. And Elizabeth is the one that scares me. That's how Fred sees all of you. But then after like patting specifically James and and Noah on the back and telling them not to die, he looks out towards all of you. That goes for all of you, all right, you fucking idiots, all right? I don't want to see a single dead body when you get back, okay? If you promise me that much, you'll get another cup of this Joe. As Fred, like, he picks up his laptop and then kind of awkwardly moves it around because it's like heavy for him. Because again, he is a macaque monkey, as a reminder.
But what if we have to trap another part of the curse into another body? And no, okay.
It's about time, though. Albert says as he's like putting on his glove with his teeth a little bit because he again doesn't have an other arm. I've been on the bench.
Hey Noah, do you want my coffee?
What? So what was the question?
You want my coffee?
Noah, do you want my coffee? I see you like it a lot.
It's just like how they used to make it. Yeah, sure, give it a.
He pushes the mug over. It tastes like shit to him, but he didn't want to be offensive about it.
Thanks, you're such a good friend.
So Albert struggles a little bit to put on his glove. James goes over to like help him out and whatnot. Before he kind of like in a pseudo leadership position next to the door. It'd be good to get off the benches for once. It's time to show you all what the Vatican can really do. As he says that, he like makes sure like he pats the rapier that has been on his on his hilt for a while, and looks over to all of you. Well, we're all going, I presume.
I have a quick question. Was there any time to learn at least the basis of this fucking spell?
You'll do that as you walk.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, this seems somewhat like we're gearing out towards the final battle, everyone. I know that we've all come here from disparate pasts, different countries, different reasons. At times we were enemies, at times we may have killed each other, Albert says, looking over at Maria. However, we all share a common goal. The curse has been on this land for far too long. And frankly, I'm fucking sick of it. And I haven't even been here for that long. Albert chuckles a little bit as he looks out towards all of you. We are not a family, nor are we a cohesive adventuring party, nor are we really even friends. However, I trust, at the bare minimum, we can hold it together long enough to kill what needs to be killed. Do you think that we can meet that bare minimum? Albert says, looking kind of like he's like begging you all.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Cheers.
we got it.
Cheers then. And Albert raises the cup of New York coffee. His just says priest on it. To victory. And to a new tomorrow. To a new dawn. On this blasted eternal night. And one by one, some of them are tired because they've been up all night. Some of them look refreshed. As mentioned, I think Ubel will probably look refreshed. James still looks tired, like he didn't sleep that much. Maria didn't like the comment from Albert, the glare, etc., etc. But he chugs down the coffee, kind of like a little bit heavily, slams it down on the table, and then looks out to all of you. Let us go then. And he then, even though he was like a little bit of a leader, as it were, he looks over towards Elizabeth and then like waits for her to lead them, as if like he knows that he's not.
Listen, if I drink enough of the coffee, do I get enough? Does time slow down enough that I get an extra use?
No.
What?
What the fuck? I love I love when it's come to this at the end. Albert's just like, listen, we're not a family, we're not a party, we're not gonna kill each other before we kill the final boss, right? And not knowing that Elizabeth and Noah might like oh boy.
You did this.
And so Elizabeth, do you lead them out?
Yep.
Oh, all right. And so you all walk potentially as there's an air of finality in the morning, quote unquote morning, as you walk out and it is still goddamn pitch black outside. But there are determined looks on most of the people's faces as they go. As you guys are going, Nameless looks up at you. He is still outside of the house, just guarding it, as it were. And silently, actually, as you all go to leave, he stands up. Let me think about something, actually. No. He looks like he's going to stand up, but then instead he just nods towards you, saying, like, as if, like, tilting his head goodbye, as he is still just, like, outside of your house for some reason, Elizabeth.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna whisper, is he gonna be okay? Oh.
I have no idea.
And so, unless is there something anyone else wants to do before we go back to the Rakshasa cave?
I just want to make a quick note.
No, I was gonna say, I just want to pick up on the basics of the spell.
Yeah.
At least.
I'll get to that in a second. Well, what was your thing, Kaizen?
I just wanted to give a bit of flavor because Ubel has not really been saying a lot. That is because, like, if anybody pays attention, he has like a genuine bright smile on his face, like the kind of smile a teenager would have before you go on vacation, or be like as a confident thingy. Let's get this shit done.
Yeah, because he's finally
And
going.
like
to,
even when walking, he like, yeah. And even while walking, he doesn't pay like much attention to anything. He does like almost like a comical stride of like with his arms. This is like, we're gonna get shit done today.
Oh
yeah, the 100% is gonna like lead to riders like, is he okay? Is he gonna be okay?
He's happy. No, obviously he's not. Something terrible is going to happen. Oh, Ryder says. By the way, have you seen Archer? I was trying to keep a lookout, but I didn't sense her at all. She's either hiding or she's somewhere long gone. I don't think she lost the caster, do you?
I'll check. Archer?
There's a long...
That's in his head calling for.
Yeah, there's a long pause. Yes, dear.
Okay, not causing any problems, are you?
No, of course not. I underestimated the caster and his friend. Currently, I'm recuperating.
Understood. You didn't speak to Liz, did you?
What would make you think that?
I kind of just assumed that when you got back, when she got back, you'd go back to her.
Why would you assume that?
I don't know, I just did.
You need not
But
worry
it's your
yourself
choice.
so much. Go along. Defeat that part of the curse. And when you do, I'll be with you for the final battle.
Just gonna look at Ida. Yeah, she's fine.
Did she say if she won
Says
or
she.
lost?
She said she underestimated them and is recovering.
Yeah. Arya did have that air about him. I'll keep a lookout then. Go, turn around. And she, like, as you all are walking, she, like, grabs you by the cuff and then picks you up and then puts you over towards James. Learn that weird magic. And as she says that, Ryder vanishes, keeping a lookout. And so so James, along with, he actually gets Ubel to help you a little bit, the happy Ubel, and Nerd 1, Nerd 2, and Special Nerd 3, Ubel upgraded Nerd 3, upgraded from that weird smelly guy to Nerd 3.
Nerd with a gun?
Nerd with a gun.
And Ubel is being very like over enthusiastic. Like he like, explains shit to you which doesn't even make sense. Like he explains it without using any magical terms. He's like, yeah, and this one exactly, and then you will feel the energy and stuff like that the entire time.
And actually, because for Noah, it might actually remind you about how excited you were when you first started to learn magic, because because it is clear, as I think, yeah, you were told that Castor had forced his magical circuits open. Ubel is like a child that has just learned magic for the first time.
Yeah, and he got straight to the advanced classes, but now he's new.
We'll never go past this, yeah. Well, after everything, after all of this, it does seem like we're very close to the dawn, James says, looking up towards the night sky. It hasn't even really been that. It hasn't even really been
The
that
world
long.
always moves forward.
As you say that, Elizabeth, James kind of shoots you a side eye, and he nods over towards Ubel to keep teaching Noah about the magic. As he like jogs up next to you. Sister, need we talk about last night?
James. Well, I mean, not exactly blaming you for anything. It wasn't really your idea. She fucking shoots aside at the bell.
I just wanted you to know that I'll do whatever you want. If you want me to lead next to you, then I will. And if you do not, then there are other places that I could be.
James, I have no issues with you leading or you leading besides me. That's not what my issue was. I'll think about it.
And James nods. And then he falls back and continues to try to teach Noah the basics of the true name invocation. By the way, Noah, roll me an Arcana.
Okay.
I believe in you. Okay, yeah.
So I have bad news for you. When when learning a new spell, if I succeed on it, I critically succeed. So.
Y'all got mechanics in my D&D campaign?
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. So
I found a general feat that I can use. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah. So the
It's fine. I've been spamming assurance this whole time. You're good.
Assurance is so funny. But then yes, okay. You catch the grasp of how to invoke a true name. And you also, as mentioned, I don't necessarily need to repeat it, but it's in theory, extremely powerful spell, but also an extremely limited spell because you need two things that are very important. You need to find their true name, which is very rare. Most people don't even know their own true name. And besides that, you also need to eat away at your very existence to cast it. So just like small things.
Yeah, small things, baby things.
But in this instance, it will allegedly be an extremely powerful weapon that will be able to immediately delete the serpent. And nothing else happened in the previous 10 sessions that will ever change that and or cause this spell to not work. Anyway,
Yeah.
The para in the background. Vibrating really quickly with a smile. Anyway. Oh. And so
I fucking hate the AFK server, like the AFK channel.
You're also getting abducted.
It's gone. It's gone. I fucking finished it. Like I already fixed
Thank
it.
you.
Fucking bitch! I swear to God.
And so we end up, or Ubel, you end up at the same place that you were supposed to be guarding this entire time. Ubel, you end up towards the gate that was yours by birthright, the thing that you were supposed to defend and lock away for all of those years. You will not just be chained to this place if everything goes well. You will be completely freed. You will be broken away, and the thing that you were supposed to have been locked away and guarding, the thing that your family has been guarding for so many years, will have been finally ended with you. As you slowly and certainly walk into the Rakshasa's cave, the eyes and whispers more fervent than before. They seem to be excited by what potentially could happen as your squad slowly walks deeper and deeper and deeper down into the bowels of the earth. So you are once again faced with Lamatsu. Oh. You do know how to honor your deals.
Just like Liz raises her brow. She wants to say something about that, but
I was wondering if you would. Yeah.
Well, here we are.
I do not know whether you can succeed or not. Many have tried in the past. And Lamatsu specifically, his eyes flick over towards you, Ubal, referring to Atla. Many have failed. But, in all of my years, I do not think I have ever seen so many fools rush to their deaths at once. But this time will be different. Perhaps you can break our chains. I grant you passage. And Lamatsu, who again takes up the entire cavern by how large he is, slowly gets up, kind of awkwardly, moves to the side into a tunnel. Go. Standing before you, in the middle of the cave, where the cave ends after a long hallway that you can barely just make out, is a big, black, iron door. Who goes to open it? Who shall be the one that opens the gate?
Well,
It ain't Noah.
Liz is definitely going in. Liz is definitely going up.
All right, no one stops you.
She ain't hesitating.
Do not, as a piece of advice, Lamatsu says as you reach out your hand to the door, do not doubt yourself. It is a being of trickery and lies. Stride forward. You grab hold of the door?
As if I've ever had that issue.
All right.
And she opens the door.
As Elizabeth opens the door, everyone roll me a will.
Oh, that's my favorite at all.
Is 22 okay?
Perhaps.
I'm gonna check on the. Oh, I rolled a 4.
Liz said it. Liz, like, the fucking curse has never been able to influence Liz in any way.
Have I ever?
Yeah, she opened that door and in her mind, she's like, there's a flower that needs to be delivered. Excuse me.
I'm him.
Not him. I will continue to be him.
Okay.
Never punished. God
Is this
damn
an
it.
important role?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, fuck it then.
A sickening feeling that some of you are very familiar with by now seeps out from behind the door as slowly, and again, you automatically pass because of assurance, but slowly Liz pries open the old gate. And surprisingly, and actually, those of you that are magically inclined, so actually everyone, all of the party members, roll me Arcana as Elizabeth opens the door. Do you notice Ubel, you sense that something is strange, but for Elizabeth and Noah, you both know that this seal on this gate was really weak. Like, extraordinarily weak. Like, the magic that was holding it together and was stopping you was... like, it shattered on impact. And really, it was more about just opening the door itself that had been sealing away this part of the curse. Perhaps it was the Rakshasa's influence that was the reason it never broke out. But for whatever reason, you rather, with no hard effort, break the seal, reach down and pry open the gate to hell. And beyond the door is just pitch black. And by the way, for Ubel and a couple of the other party members, Albert seems unaffected, but the James fully throws up. Like you see him, he kneels down immediately when the door is opened. He throws up onto the ground. The Maria like flinches a little bit. Gaius he like has to adjust himself a little bit. He doesn't like fully tilt over or anything like that. But Elizabeth, you are faced with pitch blackness. Do you walk in?
I think time has shown contact with my mind is more hazardous to you than it is to me. As she smirks and walks off.
So does she want like a torch or?
Joker's sword just like lights up because I can do that.
Yeah. By the way, if you light up the sword and like try to see on the inside, it's almost as if the beyond the gate just devours the light. It is just a wall of pitch black.
Fair enough, then I'm not even going to try. I'm just going in.
Okay, yeah. So Elizabeth is swallowed into the darkness, and with only like a brief pause afterwards, Gaius nods and Gaius follows, shortly followed by Maria.
Ubel will actually turn to the rest of the group. Is this what we are supposed to be doing?
If you want to destroy the curse, you must go.
James is still just
The
vomiting,
giant-
not saying anything.
The giant talking eye is correct, James says as he like tries to righten himself up. The problem, or one of the many problems with the true name invocation, is that it must be done on its terms. We must enter into its domain at its mercy. That is the only time where we can truly strike. It is not a being.
Boys and girls.
It's not a being that really exists in our plane of reality.
Boys and girls, time to enter a different reality. And he like claps his hands. Believe! And he jumps in.
Ryder materializes right as he does that. We've been doing this alternate reality hopping thing a while. Weird, Ryder says as she casually walks in.
I'm gonna walk in behind Ryder. I'm even gonna try to like hold onto her coat, or like some part of her clothing.
As Albert then looks down, like pitying James a little bit. Come on now. And James nods, and Albert helping James, who has now thrown up all of his New York coffee. They are the last ones that slowly walk in through the gate of shadow. Oh boy. I am.
Oh, this is a weird question. Does Honey pass in fine?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, as all of you walk in, one by one, you are all greeted with the same phenomenon. And by that, what I mean is many, 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 many images flash through your mind. So many that you can't really understand or parse them. As you walk through the darkness, it is for a moment as if all of your senses are consumed by it. And then so many flashes of people, of snow, of trees, of birds, of serpents in the ground, of people slowly dying. Those people there, you see their muscles slowly fade away, consumed by tendrils of blackness. Black, the seas of black, nothing more than this black tar. The stars eaten, slowly devoured. Everything devoured, eaten. Despair, 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 over and over again and again and again and again, and then finally, you are all you all see each other in the void. And let me just here real quick. I need to roll James's fortitude again.
Why?
Because that is no good. He's doing okay. It looks like he's about to throw up as you see him, and you all instantly blink together, like you all see each other as you're together, roughly in the same exact positions that you were. So like Elizabeth is up front with her sword drawn, James in the back. James goes to throw up again, but then he holds it together. Yes, this is definitely it, James says as he's looking around. Something similar. It's just like Yamada. They're the serpent's memories, or at least the people that make it up. So many people.
So many
The
people.
sensation. Do you guys see it? We have never been closer.
Are you all right, sister? James says,
Seems a little
looking
bit-
over concerned towards you.
She seems a little bit too
Oh.
excited.
More than all right. Finally, my sword will be within reach of that thing.
And so you all can walk around or explore or do whatever you want, but it is seemingly just a world of darkness. Even Ryder offhandedly mentions, not even the river Styx is this bad. And she's like looking out into the void of nothingness. Until finally, off in the distance, you see a figure sitting down onto the ground, kind of like expectantly waiting for you. What does the party do? Does Elizabeth, you just start running at it towards the figure in the distance?
No, she's more composed than that. She
Okay.
actually wants to savor the moment
Okay,
before she
yeah.
starts swinging.
Okay, I didn't know if you were just going to straight.
Like
just
we like
start-
at some
yeah.
point we're gonna be there like pin him. She's gonna be like, no, he needs another one. It's
Yeah.
it's with the steel chair again.
Yes. As deep inside of this nightmare, there is a person. As you all slowly walk up to it, but it is not the person that you would expect. In fact, their form seems to shift and change every now and again. As you're slowly approaching them and trying to get a good view on who they are. I want everyone here to roll me a fortitude.
Dear God, not again.
Oh yeah, you don't like fortitudes, do you?
No, I do.
I
It's
got a nat
sorry.
20.
I got a nat 20. You wouldn't
I'm,
even
I'm,
need
I'm
to
not
roll.
joking. Like here.
You wouldn't need to roll in this
Yeah.
instance.
No, I'm not joking. Like look at content of the discussion. Like
You did get a nat 20.
That is pretty
As
funny.
sitting down
He's lying.
onto the
He's
ground.
he's been saving that picture for years.
Sitting down on the ground as if he was expecting you is Nishio. And I don't think Elizabeth even recognizes who this is. To Elizabeth, I think,
Yeah, he's just some guy.
he's just some guy with whitish hair and glasses in traditional Asian garb. But to Ubel and to Noah, this would be very confusing as to why Nishio is just sitting here like this, waiting for you. And as you approach, he slowly looks up to you. Hello. It has been some time.
Seeing who it is, Noah's just gonna say, "Don't ask him any questions."
And as you now get close enough to like actually look over this man, very notably, it is Nishio's face, but at the same time, he is in a long black cloak that is reminiscent to how the curse usually appears as it briefly appears in the overworld. And also, there are chains around his arms and his legs. Thick, iron, magical runes inscribed into them chains that just sink down into the ground, quote unquote, of this pitch black world that you're in. I presume you've come
Well-
here to kill me. No
Well,
res-
yes, you would presume correct.
My curse is that I am frequently correct. And as if he's told himself a very funny joke, he laughs himself a little bit. But then his face goes down back to a much more somber expression. Well then, finally, it has been a long night. And he then more resolutely stops staring down and looks up towards you, Elizabeth. I will not fight back. However, may you do me one favor.
And like raises a brow.
When we were broken apart, the different shards were all imparted with different memories, different powers, different parts of ourself that used to be whole. I think out of every single one of the pieces of me, I remember the most. It is my burden and my joy to remember the faces and the people that make who I am, to make up my past. Knowledge makes up most of what I am. Not fighting power, not hatred, not sorrow, just knowledge. And it would be sad for me to die with the only one knowing what happened. So if you could do me a favor and listen to my story, then I will allow you to kill me without fighting back. Not that I would be much of a fight anyway. And I don't know if this is
Liz?
anticlimactic to you or whatnot, Liz, as apparently you have found the shard that has no combat power whatsoever and is just inherited memories. This is just the memories of the serpent.
Liz is very much like not vibing right now with this. She looks at the others looking a little soured.
I will
mean-
do the reasonable thing and I will roll perception on Nishio.
I was not going to remind you because I've reminded you all so many times. So, you actually passed the second one, Ubel. So, two things. For one, it seems like he is telling the truth. Beyond that, also, something that's also very strange to you specifically, Ubel, something that's bizarre to you even. This gate has not been watched by a gatekeeper in a very long time. That probably explains why the seal had been so deteriorated, right? And why Elizabeth was able to break it very easily. But beyond that, even the chains that are around Nishio, air quotes, I said that they looked like they were sinking down into the sea themselves, but as Nishio like moves a little bit, you actually make out, while he does have shackles around his wrists and his legs, those chains are broken. Like he could have potentially just gotten up and walked out of the gate years ago, and he just didn't. He's just been sitting here.
He probably has depression.
Potentially.
Yeah,
He's
it's
the
like-
one that says that he has all the memories, so yeah.
Yeah, he also said like, yeah, you guys are allowed to kill me. He didn't try to get up. No, he
Yeah,
probably just has issues, man.
He even said, he said, when you're here to kill me, he said, finally, this long night has come to an end.
I would like to hear his story.
Yeah, I have no qualms with that.
Elizabeth?
You know we are fighting a being of thought, correct? Knowledge itself can be dangerous here.
True, the more we know of it, stronger it could become. But at the same time, that knowledge could give us an edge in defeating it.
I see.
What are you doing, Elizabeth? Because you're the one that has the gun in her
I?
hand. Yeah.
No, I'm the one with the gun in my hand.
Oh yeah, that's right. You stole
So am
all
I.
of Hishad's guns.
Does this still look like the inside of a cave, by the way, or like?
No, I need you to understand that when you look out in every single direction, is just nothing but black, endless black, forever and ever and ever and ever.
Okay.
I've always wanted to paint my room Vanta black, but after seeing this ain't it.
Read then. Some of us will not listen to the story. If it is indeed hazardous, we do need a portion of our group to have not listened to it, just in case.
Sure. I have no qualms with that. As long as there is someone that remembers me, I will be happy.
Very well. Well, Noah, Ubel, you do seem to be the more eager ones to listen to it, so I personally will be putting some wax in my ears, as it were.
I would suggest that you listen to it, Eris. Nishio says, looking up at you.
Ooh. Specifically. Why? Because I'm the biggest threat to your existence and you'd rather take care of me right now?
No. You are not a threat to me. I want you to kill me. In fact, you are the only one that can deliver me, potentially, from my eternal hell. I say that
This is very intriguing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry my dad did this to you, man.
I only say that you should listen because it could clarify something about yourself.
Myself? Maria, I want you to plug your ears.
Maria, like she almost like she doesn't want to listen for a moment. But Maria, being the ever loyal person, she nods. So she is not listening. Maria's over here, the not listening camp.
Great. Other than that, anyone else who wants to not be listening? Ideally, I'd like for the people who were not listening to be, more than one.
Albert nods. I have no interest in the tails of serpents.
Oh, is he gonna plug his ears?
Yeah, very well. James is not giving up knowledge, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no, James is absolutely fucking locked in. He wants to hear this.
Can you plug your ear with Mage Hand? Is that a thing? Could you do that?
Maybe.
You actually see Honey float over vaguely towards their group. No one else sees it, so it's only you that sees it.
But why?
She leaves you, Noah.
Okay, at least I'll have something over Hawaii.
I know this.
I can trade you this knowledge for Hawaii knowledge.
There. Your collateral has been collected.
Fair enough. Though to be warned, hasn't really gone well for you in the past when you've tried to assault me mentally.
There is a very tiny spark of amusement, but it is quickly swallowed by the eternal depression that this person seems to be in. Before that, and this is nothing more than a trivial indulgence, truly, but out of the spirit, would you ask me a question? A question for a question. I do have a pondering love of riddles and questions. Perhaps it's because I have the most knowledge out of us, the most memories. Anything you would like to know left?
Is this specifically towards me or
Towards anyone?
No,
still
no,
listening?
Don't ask him that. That's a question. Stop it.
Towards anyone still listening. And he does not comment on the fact that that was a question. Seemingly letting it slide. Do any of
That's
you
fair.
have?
I mean, Liz did it partially on purpose. She did.
Yeah.
She did feel more comfortable. What's it
Yeah,
called? Asking something very inconsequential.
because she holds all the cards in this table, so.
Do any of you ask a question?
Can we have a. It would be a. It's a potential risk to ask a question, but his. If this is the same person, his knowledge is good.
Hmm. Well, if none of you have one, and we do need a question, I do have one, but well, you know, I'd rather it not come to that.
What question could you possibly have that you don't want to ask?
It's fine. Then at the very least, quote unquote, Nishio looks up towards Ubel. Ubel, do you say anything specifically towards Nishio?
He is thinking, like, part of him kind of wants to, like Atlan at some point entered this gate. Part of him wants to know more about what happens that day. Another part of him just wants to keep this illusion in his head that his father just fought a valiant fight and failed. Ooh, I don't know. Boy's out of character. Should I ask a question about that sort of stuff, or should we let it like?
Out of question,
Ooh.
out of character. I have a lot of. Noah's just having a weird time trying to go question to question with this man again. But my true question is where is Saber? That
That's exactly what Liz wants.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Liz now wants to win the Grail War, right? Like that's her big
Yeah.
thing. So she needs fucking Saber. Where the
Yeah.
fuck is Saber?
Yeah, and if Liz asked that, Noah's gonna be like, "Yes, we talked about winning the war. I'm glad she's on the side." Yeah, so I guess like if there's anything Abal wants to ask, otherwise, you know our question.
Who asked it though?
Where the fuck is
Which one of you asked it?
Oh, sorry. So is Abal not gonna ask anything?
I'm gonna do a D2.
A D2, a coin.
I'm not sure. It's a coin flip for me.
Toss a coin to your Rubel.
It's a 4. It's okay.
Yo, thank you, King of Cannons, for the 5 gifted.
Yo, let's go.
Oh,
Oh, hey, one of the fucking 2 players from the Monday campaign got fucking gifted.
hey, easy. Okay, so
All right.
Liz didn't want to ask the question, and Upal's thinking, I guess. So Noah will ask. This entire Grail War, we've been missing one servant, and you gave us clues before, but directly, I just want to know who. How do I ask this? Who is?
Saber.
And her master, his master.
Ah, Saber. Yes. You have asked a very fair question. However, Nishio pauses and thinks for a moment. It is a hard one to answer. I will say this. Saber's summoning was drastically affected by the nature of this Grail War. This Grail, as you presume, Nishio looks over at Ryder, does not summon normal servants. And Saber being the most pure, usually, out of all of them, there were complications. There was no Saber summoned into this Grail War, not usually. Because someone took its spot. The Grail could not summon Saber because someone who had the qualifications to be Saber already existed inside of Musuzeme.
A servant existing outside the Grill War?
I said a being that took the qualifications of Saber. So this faulty and corrupted Grail misinputted, you could say.
So we could, not asking towards him, asking towards the group. So we could, at this point, never run into Saber?
Yes. There is and is not a Saber at the same time. There is someone technically that has the qualifications to be called Saber, and yet there is no actual servant called Saber. Quite the conundrum.
There actually might be a chance we have run into them at some point even. I mean, think about it, like quite a bunch of humans in this whole thing that seem like they are a bit more than a human.
Nishio nods. This whole Grail War has been a sham, a fraud, nothing more than a shadow to please other people's ambitions. I will not speak of debts owed, but if you will allow me in kind. And he looks up towards Noah, and then his gaze looks back over towards Ubel again. Ubel, do you want to see the dawn? Do you want to live past all of them? Have you found a reason?
But he has to think for a couple of seconds. No, actually, he doesn't have to think. Like, he very straight up answers. Just a bit of time ago, the answer would have been different, but I'm gonna say it that way. With what is going to happen within the next couple of hours, the life that I have lived up until now is going to end completely. Once this Grail situation is taken care of, everything I have done up until that point has basically vanished. The name of my family, the name of Musuzeme, every person I have ever had in my life is gone, and so is the Ubel of the past. Once this whole thing is over, I'm going to go out there and find an actual reason to live, one that I will choose myself.
And for a brief moment, and I don't know if this makes you happy or sad or somewhat mixed in between, Ubel. Perhaps it's just a figment of your imagination even, because it's so brief. Nishio's face changes into the face of Atlan, your father, for the briefest of moments before turning back into Nishio. And with a smile, Nishio / your father say, He would have been proud of
Ubel does not respond. That he's kind of uncomfortable with that, but yeah.
you. You have given me an answer that I've long since desired. For that, and for finally freeing me of this night, I shall answer any remaining questions that you have with my story. As the shackles clink and clank a little bit as he slowly gets up. His cloak much more ragged and ruined than most of the other times that you had seen the curse. And as he begins to stand up, the world around you begins to shift and change a little bit. Some of you that have been inside of these dreamlands are very familiar with what is happening as the scene begins to change, as memories flood in and take shape from the pure darkness around you. Long ago, there was a village. In this village lived a mighty wizard with an ego of steel. That should be very familiar to all of you. Much like many of his ilk from legend, this wizard wanted to cure that which was incurable. The Philosopher's Stone, glorious ambrosia, a cure from death. He specifically looks over towards Ryder, who is Charon. This wizard sought to do the impossible. And for that, he needed to commit a great sin. And the world around you shifts. Seen through the many different eyes of the people that existed in the village long ago, you see Musuzeme. In many ways, it is the same as the Musuzeme that you have all come to know in the campaign. A small little village somewhere in the Tibetan mountains, but beyond that, it is different. The towers are much taller. The village is much more vibrant. It is clearly both your Musuzeme and also one that is completely unfamiliar to you. The wizard and his family were brilliant. While he had no blood relations, those from the village had very close ties. His brother was a monk, his sister a researcher. And two shadows appear next to Nishio. Roll me perception.
Oh. How? How is it? How do you keep getting that right?
It's impeccable. Impeccable. Perhaps Elizabeth does not want to see. But Ubel and Noah, you make out that they are just shadowy silhouettes in the background, but you make out that standing behind Nishio are figures that look oddly similar to Daigo and Grace.
Wait a fucking second.
Oh.
Nishio's my fucking uncle?
As in Blair?
No, remember, he's talking about a great wizard with an ego of steel. He's very likely, in his place, he's very likely talking about Hephaestus.
Wait, Hephaestus is my uncle?
Hephaestus is my uncle?
Notably, he had
We
just
are
said,
family.
as a reminder, he had just said they did not have blood relations, but the village was as close as family. So his brother, quote unquote, and I think that, yeah, they had mentioned that, so just for clarification for lore reasons, they were not actually related, but they saw each other as family. There was a researcher who was a woman, the sister, there was a wizard with an ego of steel, and then there was a monk. So yes, in a way, and as you all now begin to realize, so you all are very literally, not literally actually, but you all are in some ways family. Elizabeth doesn't realize this because she failed her perception roll, but I don't know if one of them wants to tell them, because as it all comes together, you have long since known, Ubel, that your people came from this village. that your bloodlines go back to this ancient village because you've been here from Musuzeme from the start. But beyond that, Grace Blair has apparently been here from the start, and Hephaestus, who is Noah's father, was the chief of this village, and also Yamada with Daigo. Yes, so every single one of you is in some way a family, is in some way almost a reunion of the original people of the village.
I am chief now.
Yes, we'll see about that. Remember, this is your birthright, Noah. The wizard, the researcher, and the monk, along with others. And some of the other shadows shift and change around them. And even you see one, and it's weird because he's still there as Nishio, but you even see a shadow silhouette that looks exactly like Nishio appear. They were brilliant, and they shared a common goal: the betterment of humanity. The wizard, the researcher, and his family were brilliant, but no one is infallible. He soon realized that in order to obtain power, there needed to be sacrifices. Power does not come from nothing. And almost as if underneath you, in the vaguest back of your minds, and Noah and Ubel, you would be reminded of when you had fought Hephaestus. Or no, just Noah, actually, would be reminded, because I forgot, he's the one that tapped into the core. The faint screaming in the background, as you almost feel like this world that you're in, there are so many voices in the background screaming in pain constantly that all go silent as Nishio begins to talk again. Even if their goals were good, soon they fell down the wrong path. They wanted to save everyone, but in order to do that, they needed to murder. And so they did. Again, and again, and again, and again. Until I was born. And there is, again, for a brief moment, when he says I was born, his form shifts into that of a giant black serpent, and then back to Nishio. At the start, I helped them, those that remained. Even though the village was much smaller from when it began, there were still those that I could look after. I was, in many ways, a wish-granting device. A being whose job it was to answer the prayers of mortals. I was a god. However, forgive me for my indulgence again. Let me ask you a question. Can you see a fatal flaw with a wish-granting device that's supposed to make people happy?
It didn't ask the people. It forces itself upon them.
No, I did.
Happiness in its final state is a road of self-destruction. Human desires are chaotic.
You sound a lot like a certain researcher I once knew. And the shadowy figure of the researcher flickers a little bit. Roll me perception again, Elizabeth.
Oh my god, is it like mother like daughter?
Yeah.
If he rolls badly again, I'm just gonna help at this point. Like,
My brother, what is it? That 7? It's not that bad.
I think Liz might just need glasses and she doesn't know it. Look, I mean, part of the fucking
you slowly start to recognize that who the shadowy figures are, Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
And the weight of his words when he says, you sound like a certain researcher that he used to know.
it's a little difficult because she herself is not sure what she's seeing right
Correct.
now. You know, it's like
Yeah.
this is what this is, right? But it can't be what this is. You know, that doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
No, I did ask the people, and I was capable of giving them happiness. It was something much more simple than that. Something stupid. A stupid, stupid oversight from a brilliant wizard. Those that are happy do not pray. Those that are content with life do not ask for a god's help. Only those in the pits of despair would ever call out to me. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again, I saw hell. And slowly the scene changes around you into famine and people dying and people crying over their dead children as they pray and pray for salvation. Only people in despair would pray for help. And so the wish-granting device, again and again and again, saw despair. It was the only emotion that I truly knew. When I was born into this world, I heard the voices cry out to me. I saw death. I saw famine. I saw so much despair. And that was all that I could know. The wishes I granted slowly became corrupted. How do you stop a murderer? You kill the murderer. Do you stop a famine? You kill the village until they need not but only a morsel of food. Again and again and again. Each time they prayed to me, I granted their wishes in the worst ways possible. And so the people turned on me, their own god, a god they created to save them. And they locked me away.
Sounds like a matter of survival to me, rather than ungratefulness.
In truth, that wizard with the massive ego couldn't even save his own friend's nephew. His own nephew. His brother's child. And Nishio looks straight over at Honey from across the void. The wizard sought to cure all of humanity, and he had made a curse that killed his own friend's child. The curse ravaged the child just the same way that the curse killed most of the village. Excruciatingly slow, their eyes turning yellow as their minds buckled under the weight of the despair that had seeped into my core. A foolish oversight from a brilliant man. It's almost a comedy. That is the truth of what I am. And after centuries of being locked up alone with nothing more than my own hatred and spite of what you all did to me, I became like this. We come now near the end. All of the parts of me are either collected or dead. You stand against me the same way the village stood against me all those years ago. But now you have ways to kill me. I have a proposition. There were two things I wanted. One was to kill every single one of the remainders of the village. The ones that had betrayed me. The ones that had made me who I am. Daigo Izumo. And one of the shadows is completely revealed. Hephaestus. The shadow, almost as if it comes out from behind Nishio, the shadow reveals Hephaestus. And Grace Blair. Finally, you have to accept it, as the shadow reveals into Grace Blair. And I have now killed all three. All three have been devoured and sent into the void. I no longer hold resentment towards the ones that have done this to me, because they're all dead. And so, the only thing that I want left may actually align with your goals. And there is a brief pause before the scene changes one final time to something much more familiar, to seemingly modern-day Musuzeme, as it is nothing more than a field of snow, as Nishio looks over towards another shadowy figure who has been walking up slowly behind him and finally stands next to him as the shadow bits of him break away, as you see Yamada standing right next to Nishio. I want to see if it is possible to move past this hatred, to finally break free of this cycle of never-ending torment. If you would allow me, if you would trust me, I want to use the Grail to become human. Because someone in the never-ending night and darkness and pain and suffering that has been my entire existence since you people created me, there was one singular soul that showed me that this world is not all bad. That the moon on a cold night looks beautiful. And that apples taste so strangely wonderful. All I want is the same thing that all of you have ever been given. A chance to live a life. A normal life that was robbed from me by my creators. Give me the Grail, and I will be mortal. And the curse will vanish from this world entirely. I swear it on not only my name, but on the name of the friend that showed me the way. And he looks over towards Yamada. What say the party?
Leo, sweetheart, I want to roll a hyper perception.
All right,
Dude, I would like a free action sob.
Oh boy. The simple paradox of a wish-granting device. Those that are happy do not wish, they do not pray, they do not ask for salvation. Hephaestus was just a fucking moron. It was just an oversight. He just made an oversight.
It was a misinput. It was a misinput.
The entire thing comes down to a simple misinput from the world's smartest man.
This is what happens when you don't have QA.
Correct.
You see, triple A gaming companies have ruined it. They released the curse too early. The god.
Oh
So you are right. They should have done close beta testing.
Correct. They did not.
So,
do
so
any
this is
closed
what.
beta testing.
So this is what the part you said. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
I said,
be. in.
so you don't necessarily
Oh.
actually need to be here. But you could if you wanted to say one final word to the party or whatnot. Because you are technically here. Because
I don't think he's gonna say anything.
Okay, yeah. Yep. As this is the path that Yamada chose at the end, is that yes, walk forward, see if you can live a life without despair, because all that the curse has ever been allowed to know forever is despair. And you truly do know, and actually, Ubel, with your perception, you do know every single thing that he has said is the truth. He has not lied or even been slightly deceptive to you this whole entire time. He is but a child almost, who was born into this world as a servant and shown despair over and over again until it broke him, and then they shattered him into pieces and locked him away in a torturous existence for centuries.
Yeah, while Noah's sobbing, he's gonna say, man, I only had a mom and now I have a dad and a brother.
And just as a side note, yes, the only thing to bring it all the way back to what he is, being the curse being Rocco's basilisk, all that he wants is to be born. That's all that he has ever wanted, is to be born into this world. Now, do you trust him? That's the only question. Ubel, as I said, either he is the best liar, better than Daigo lying, or he is telling the truth. Ubel.
Yeah, like Ubel will look down a bit. He will turn to the group and say, see, as long as there isn't any technical limitation that would prevent this from happening, this might actually be the cure-all, end-all to this entire mess. And in the Grail War, the curse situation... Sorry, Risu?
Oh, sorry. I mean, if he becomes human, no one has to break themselves casting the spell either.
Either way, I have made peace with myself. Either I will become human, or you will kill me here. Either way, my long night is finally at an end.
I mean, you guys... This might just be intuition or gut feeling, but I actually trust the things that he has shared with us, the feelings that he has shared. That one other time that I interacted with the curse, it wasn't really that different when it came to the emotions that were being portrayed. Although I guess, as he said, he seems way more at peace with himself.
Are we just supposed to forgive you for everything you've done? Gaius speaks up. For all the people you've killed? He specifically, you see his eyes dart over towards his wife. Hatred is a never-ending cycle. Again and again and again and again, we kill each other, we harm each other. In the same way that I have taken someone that you've loved, he has done things beyond your imagination. And she has never even told you of any of them, of why she knew of this place once you got rejected from Scotland. About the true nature of the blood that runs through your veins.
With all due respect, like, at this point, when we are so close to finishing this all, you should not let these emotions overwhelm you.
Gaius grips his sword, but doesn't, and he looks over towards Elizabeth.
Elizabeth is... Ooh.
It's is what I said. It's either going to be 2 sessions or 3 sessions, depending on what you guys do here, because this is going to be very, 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 very impactful. Can we trust and forgive the curse for everything that it's done? Because it is a victim. The curse did kill so many people. There's no taking away by the fact, Ubel, by the way, that the curse did kill both your grandfather and your father.
No, I know.
Yep, exactly.
I know.
Okay. I'd like to make a money move.
Okay. I wanted to say one more sentence, but that is cool.
No. Yeah, I'd like to make a money move, which is so I'd like to cast a spell in this moment. Called True Sight.
Okay.
Just so I can see him for who he is, in a way.
So, the curse was always treated as nothing more than a tool by Hephaestus. The original village did not give it a name onto itself, only Yamada had. And so as Nishio's with your true sight, as the facade of Nishio fades away a little bit, and you can see through all of the faces, they're not necessarily lies, because Nishio was devoured by the serpent the same way that many of the other people are, that same as Atlan, right? That's why he was able to very briefly appear as Atlan. So you break through all of those, though, and the face that he has decided on as his true face, the face that he has decided on by himself, is one that looks like Yamada a bit, but is different in very key ways. Almost as if it is Yamada's brother. But he's just a person. He's just a person that has his entire life only ever wanted to be normal, to just have a chance to be normal, instead of a god or a wish-granting device. He just wants to taste what apples taste like, and just wants to walk across the snow and see the ocean, etc., etc., to actually be able to live out the memories that he has been devouring for so many years.
For a being so obsessed with revenge, what exactly did you think I would do when you tell me you killed my mother? And Liz is now gripping her sword very tightly.
There is a long sigh, as if you watch the hope that his dream could finally become a reality slowly fade from his face, as Nishio / the curse slowly accepts the reality that he is probably going to die here, never getting to know anything that he had ever wanted to, as he slowly looks over towards Elizabeth. And also Gaius, who, as the same, was also gripping his sword. I understand. The cycle of hatred never truly ends. I have taken from you the same way that she has taken from me. Again and again and again and again and again. The cycle of samsara is never ending. Unless we both agree to accept. All that I can do is beg for your forgiveness. I am at your mercy.
I can understand the feelings that you guys are feeling right now. My family has lost just as much to the curse as you people have. Literally, but at some point, I know that the wounds are still fresh, but if we have such an easy solution to our problems right in front of us, you don't have to forgive him. You literally don't have to forgive him.
Really? Then what do you call this? Letting him live, if not forgiveness.
You can call it whatever you want. Solving the problem should be our #1 priority, not feelings and emotions.
If it would help you in any way, I can try to atone.
Tone? What, can you bring her back? Is that what you're saying?
He closes his eyes and then shakes his head. No.
Thought so.
When I was trapped in that tower and I was kind of just told I was another one of Hephaestus's tools that he created, it made me feel useless too. The difference between me and him is that I was given options.
Given options? Don't delude yourself, Noah. You were a pawn of Hephaestus, just as he was. You just chose to take a different course of action.
And he's choosing that now.
Yes, after he has taken his revenge, after he doesn't need to feel hatred anymore. This is not a compromise.
Elizabeth, this is this one moment in your life where you should make a decision not based on emotions, but just based on pure, cold, raw logic.
In logically speaking, human or otherwise, this thing I would rather not be in this world.
Would we make the whole curse that's left human or just this one shard?
I would need to combine with the other version of. And there, all of the curse, if we make the wish, it will become human. We will become no more.
Would you be able to find us and lead us to it?
Yes. Even now I sense my brother, my other self.
Literally one more reason to go along with this.
And none of us would have to even use the spell, especially James. I swear you Blairs have a tendency for...
Yes. Yes. If this is right, then all of us get to live. He gets to live. And it's all over.
All comes down
I thought maybe that understanding how the spell works, I could find a loophole that James missed, but it will literally eat us apart.
Yeah, oh man, this is gonna be really hard for Elizabeth's character. It's because also, just as a side note, you do remember, Elizabeth, that the way in which you are planning to kill the curse outside of whatchamacallit is to either win the Grail War, or to have to use your brother Noah and Ubel as batteries to use True Name Invocation on it and erase it from existence. Those are your only other two options to actually kill it. Your sword.
It's going to be so funny when James casts it, it doesn't work, and he dies.
No one knows about that.
No one knows about that.
Well, there is another way. There is another way.
This would technically count as me being in the curse's influence, right?
Depends on what you
Like
mean.
the rose would work if I used it now.
Oh, yes, correct. That was the intention. That, yes, you are technically at the heart right now of the curse. You are inside of its mind. Right now, this is when Archer would want you to pop out the rose and use it. You don't know why specifically. All that she had mentioned is that she apparently, as a being of dreams, because she's a fae, is more powerful inside of this realm. What was proven, by the way, when you didn't see it, but when she went to go get Noah at the tower, when she was doing some crazy shit inside of there, because she's a being of dreams as a fae. So you could just summon Archer here, and you see that Ryder is also here, and in theory you could take out Ryder, and with Castor and Roolaria leaving, and now that there is no Saber, that would be it. You could just summon Archer here and then betray the party and then kill Ryder.
That is an insane.
If I had a nickel for every time Archer became my servant, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah, and the thing is that technically Noah still does have 1 command seal that would work on Archer.
Yep.
You know, which could kind of fuck up the whole plan.
Yeah, in theory.
Oh, this is tough. This is so fucking tough.
Alright, Skorak. Welcome to a DO campaign. Welcome to making some of the hardest thought idea choices that you've ever had to make. All right, will you betray all of your friends in the party at the very last second out of anger and hatred, or will you somehow, after fighting this battle for so many years, after living your whole entire life out of vengeance to kill the curse, will you find it somewhere in your heart to not forgive but allow it to exist in order to solve all of your problems? I mean, James would still be alive, the rest of your family would still be alive outside of Grace, obviously. But yeah,
You know what could bring Grace back? I wish.
Yeah, it could, yes.
Yeah, but then James would be gone.
Well, only if he has to use the true name invocation.
Oh dear God.
What if there was another way to kill it?
Also, as a chat member said, you could go along with it and then kill it when it's mortal. The true dick move.
Yeah, he's like, I can finally taste an apple stab.
That was literally one of the thoughts that Liz had. Make it human so she can kill it as a human with her own sword, and she wouldn't need anyone else's fucking intervention to do it.
Tell her to square up.
Yeah, because if you have to use the Grail, if you have to use the Grail to save your mother, that would mean that allegedly the only way to kill it would be to sacrifice James's life. You'd be trading.
Yeah, which is basically at least for me, it's a one-on-one trade. Like, Liz loves all the members of her family equally, so that's not a trade she's particularly willing to make.
Yeah.
The only other thing is holding on to the idea that maybe Archer in the dream realm could do something else that would, that fuck up the curse. In which case, it leaves both James and the wish free.
You're roboting a little bit. Is the smart roboting for anyone else, or is that on my end?
Oh.
Just a little bit, not a lot.
Am I roboting? Did you guys hear what I said, or?
No, I heard it. It's like a little robotic.
Yeah. Okay.
Like your connection is just like a little bit.
Gets better.
Counterbell and Noah uses phones. We're just assuming that there's 3 parts, so we might have to use all 3. We don't know.
Yeah. So when I say that, Chug, Noah and Dubel can also use true name invocation. It's just that when I say sacrifice James, it's that there's a very high likelihood that James would cast true name invocation.
I was about to say, like, it would be. We have to plan. We cannot just plan for the best case scenario of we only need to use it like this. Just
exactly.
Yeah, James is also just he's just a Blair. He can't help it. It's in his blood to sacrifice himself.
Yeah, they have.
Also, we can just low roll.
They have no idea. Like anything could happen. Let me tell you, because I've already as I mentioned before, many times before, I've run this campaign for another group of people, and that final boss fight is very funny. Anything could happen. Anything could happen during that final boss fight. I hope that actually, specifically, Polarisu will be very good in common because it's designed like a Final Fantasy raid. Anyway.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because there's the only choice that Liz can potentially see of saving literally everyone in her family, right, is just using how's it called? Is using Archer's bros, you know?
In theory, if Archer could,
because then if Archer can solve it, right, that means that it will leave both the how's it called, the wish active, right, to save Grace, and James will need to use true name invocation because, you know, we're solving it through another method.
Yep.
Which, you know, that's the thing with Liz's thing. She never compromises. If she sees that there's a 0.1% chance to do to like get 100% what she wants and like a 90% chance to get like 80% of what she wants, she will go with a 0.1% chance because she doesn't believe in compromises. She's either all or nothing.
Now, but this is the peak of all or nothing. And just in case you're curious, Gaius, as mentioned, is gripping his sword, the hilt of his sword, as he looks conflicted. On one hand,
Gaius would probably also absolutely want to destroy this thing, but he's also a more responsible man.
Correct. There is so he does. You can see that he has a lot of anger, but also at the same time that he is restraining that anger. Because he understands that it is probably the best outcome for all of those that are remaining if he forgives this, if he breaks the cycle of hatred. And James, on the other hand, is actually leaning much towards is actually surprisingly, after everything that he's done, after he's sacrificed parts of his soul to destroy parts of the curse, is actually siding on the other side against you. You can see it in his face as he's thinking, and again, he's always been the much more logical one comparatively to emotions. And he just he can't find. He's like, fuck, damn, you know, he's not happy about it. He's like, shit, it do be speaking words.
Yeah. It's literally the entire party, including Liz's family, is against the they have kind of been convinced.
Yeah.
Listen,
he's gonna go absolutely sicko mode despite that.
This thing is not a he or a she. No one's gonna get to go back to America with a they, them, brother, sister. It's just the ideal American.
Oh fuck. This is insane. This is the climax of Liz's entire arc.
Yep.
And whether I want it to be positive or negative.
Oh, that's the fun part.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
I mean, depending on your
were
action,
we playing a hero or a villain?
Wait, Dio, is my ghost still there?
Yeah, it still vaguely is. You can probably, this is all probably from Yamada's perspective, just like a passing dream. But yeah, you still are there. As I said, if you wanted to say something to them, you can. Preferably something that doesn't.
I'm just gonna wait.
Okay, wait. Okay.
I'm just gonna wait until their conclusion. I'm just gonna wait for that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Listen, no. I'm not saying you should, but I'm pretty sure we all killed out. All our dads are dead, so.
Bro, this is like
I mean-
I have never psychoanalyzed a character of mine so hard. This is like the most advanced form of this is what my character would do, but I'm trying to decide what my character would do.
Yep.
I mean, if you while you wait, I mean, we can just talk about something else. Like,
Oh man.
here's the funny thing I
You
just
guys
realized.
come on chat,
Here's-
give you some
no.
time.
No, here's the funny thing I just realized.
Hmm.
Honey is. Wait, Dio. Honey is a she or no? He.
It had flipped
Sure,
back and forth
he.
because I think I messed up one time. You know what it is. This is going to be answered to the Q&A.
And it's all. Listen,
But-
a soul is a they them, so it's fine.
I think I had called Honey a he when I initially referred to Daigo's child or as his son, but it was meant to be his daughter. I fucked up. That was a fuck up on me. I did not mean to
Okay,
cause any
okay,
confusion about
okay,
that.
Oh,
Honey is just a girl and was Daigo's daughter. I made a
Okay.
mistake. I made an
Oh,
error.
okay.
It is what it is.
Okay, so apparently.
It's okay. At
so
least you're not a
apparently-
Festus. You are human.
Okay, so apparently Honey is my Yamada's big sister.
Yes, yeah, in a way, yes, correct.
Yeah, so apparently
I also
But so Noah doesn't know this, but you were also created by a Festus, right?
yes,
so you're,
you're
also.
Yes, Noah does
yeah,
have
yeah,
family
yeah. So
members.
We're all-
technically,
we're a big
I am
family.
your sibling. No, so technically, I am your sibling.
Wait, so you're saying me, you, and the curse are siblings, and then Honey's our aunt? What?
And as
Wait a
mentioned,
wait a fucking minute.
it kind of is.
No. Honey. Hold up. Let's bring up the context.
I'm so sorry. When the curse when Roko fucking gets to be human, his first family tree assignment at school is gonna be so difficult.
Okay. Hold up. Okay, let's bring the 3 points first. There's a Festus, there's Daigo, and there's
Under
Blaze,
grace, yeah.
basically. Okay.
And remember, they weren't actually
So,
family,
Daigo-
but they treated each other like family.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically it's like a three trees, basically.
Yep. Yeah. There are 3 family trees.
Daigo has Honey, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hephaestus has you, and technically me.
Yeah, there's
But I'm
but
technically
you,
also Daigo.
yeah. So you were made by Festus, adopted by Daigo, so you're part of both trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
Ubel,
that's
so-
whack.
Ubel's blood goes back to the village. They were just villagers, though. They were part of the 3 leaders of the village, who were Daigo,
Okay,
Grace.
okay,
sorry.
small
Do you
movement.
still need more time? Do you
Well,
still need more time?
Okay, so I'm thinking, right? Liz very recently realized what is it she actually wants to do,
Be a
right?
hero, yeah.
And it is to be a hero, right? But for her, being a hero is literally being this exemplar of like what you can be, right?
It's what you imagine
This-
your dad is as a child,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, exactly. She you know, it's like the Grail War has like she fought against Ajax, against Don Quixote, right? She wants to stand on those heights as this exemplar of what humanity could be, right? Her ambitions are that high.
Mhm.
How would that measure towards the current situation?
Yeah, because here's the tough question though, right? So does she view breaking away from her own emotions and making what is the correct choice as being the hero, right? Like distancing herself, like, no, I do hate this thing, but it is the correct heroic choice to make a sacrifice a little bit and to do it? Or is it more heroic to never give up on your potential dreams, no matter how insane it is? And I will tell you, it is potentially insane to think that you can save everyone. And I think that you probably know that even
Yeah.
if you are Elizabeth, right? Like, you know that it's like, that's copium as fuck. So is it more heroic to never give up, even in the face of complete copium, knowing that you could potentially fail and then lose everyone? Or is it more heroic to stifle your own emotions and choke that down and accept that this sucks for you, but it's the right thing to do? Like, what is more heroic to her? What does she think Gaius would
exactly.
do?
Like that's the idea, right? Because
Yep.
she always thought that you never compromise. You know,
Yeah.
you all the right thing to do always is to go full hog 100% and never look back. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, the legend will talk about this day because depending on what choice she makes, we'll get 2 different anime adaptations. That is right. I saw that.
Oh, I actually.
Bro, fucking fate Harmacists, like this is literally the difference between like the two routes. This is where they diverge.
Yup. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
the right one that Shaw Peaks was talking about, but when they mentioned it, I thought about that fact.
Chat did mention that. I don't know if you did care about this, but the chat did mention Ajax did tell you that you were walking down the wrong path to be a hero. But I mean, I don't know how much you fucking care about Ajax's opinion. Although he
But
was
also
a hero.
Don Quixote, maybe would just shoot this thing. I don't know.
Yeah, heroes disagree a lot with
Yep,
each other,
yeah,
right?
so-
And that's something that Liz understands. To be a hero, you have to have your opinions and hold on to them very strongly. You
Yeah.
have to have convictions, not
Conviction, yeah.
opinions, you know?
To give you more time a little bit here and to answer a question, actually the question that he was going to answer initially. So Nishio sits back down as he sees that you all are waiting and sees that like, there are like multiple, as mentioned, James is like conflicted. He's like trying to find faults in it. He's like, damn, that, you know, Gaius is conflicted. You're obviously conflicted, Elizabeth. As Nishio sits back down and his chains sink a little bit into the black floor as it returns to blackness. To answer the question I'd initially promised I would, this grail is cursed. It was stolen from the church by Daigo, but once my influence infected it, only servants that had been truly touched by despair could ever be summoned. Because of that, Saber's summoning was entirely corrupted. Then there's an archer that felt the despair of watching her whole entire people fall as the land slowly became corrupted by humans. A lancer that felt despair as he lost a bet over his own cousin's remains and killed himself, thus tarnishing his own reputation. A rider who has known nothing but despair, the despair of every single mortal that's gotten onto her boat. And looks over towards Ryder, who is standing there, and Ryder does make like a face of like, I don't like the way you know me so well. A caster who's known the despair of his whole entire legacy being corrupted. That's the same despair that Assassin knows as well, both of which have crimes pinned on them that they truly never committed. And then a berserker who is drenched in despair, who doesn't even like his own legend, or who he is, who has only ever wanted to be someone who he is not. Every single one of the servants was corrupted by my influence when they were summoned. Every single one of them has known despair. Is the curse or Nishio? The curse is Nishio at this point.
For him to try and kill this thing, would I become your enemy then? As she kind of looks back at the rest of the party, still gripping on her sword, seems about ready to just go and execute this guy.
Oh.
Noah's gonna look down, not knowing what to say on that, because he doesn't want to answer it, because he...
All right, yeah, and Elizabeth, yeah, she turns to face the party and goes, I want to kill this. Elizabeth. Ryder says, actually, you have not spoken to Ryder very much, Elizabeth, but she looks over at you kind of cautiously. I've met countless people as they cross the river Styx. I know a choice that you'll regret when I see one.
Am I still there?
Yes.
Like, am I behind?
Yep, you're behind Nishio.
Okay. Yeah. After what Elizabeth said, he's just gonna like smile a bit, like chuckle, and he's just gonna like whisper to Nishio a bit.
You can DM. What do you say?
I'm just gonna send you in DM because I'm not saying this out loud.
I love the fact that Show Peaks is like so deep in
Yeah,
here
he's-
and trying to figure out who the
Who the
servants
servants are. Nobody's spoiled
As-
him, by the way. Nobody's saying who the servants are.
If we can figure it out, that'll be so funny.
Yeah.
As your mother like continues to like sit down next to Nishio as he like passes like an apple to him or something.
Mhm.
That's
Bro,
it. That's
another
just my
five
that's just my
gifted from
input.
King of Cannons. Also, because we forgot, Gulag also gifted 10 subs earlier. So
Yep. Yeah.
thank you so much to both of you.
Yeah, God. Yeah, thank you.
I mean, if
What do
you
you
guys
call-
still need to think, if you guys still need to think
No,
about
no,
it,
no. We
I
have to have a discussion here.
yeah.
Yeah, so now Elizabeth has said it out loud, and Ubel and or Noah can refute her IRL the same way the writer has. All the writer said is you're going to
I
regret
can-
this.
I'm gonna go ahead and give Ubel's position real quick, and that he is still focused on like the goal of let's finish this.
Yeah.
Whether this happens with Nishio dying or with Nishio becoming human, like in his personal mind, the morally cool thing would be for Nishio to get the wish, and then it's just done. Peaceful friends.
Yeah.
But if this doesn't happen, then it is what it is, you know, like fuck it, bro. Like he would be willing to deal with either outcome, although he wouldn't be hyper happy.
Noah's gonna look up after thinking about it. When I bought Festus, there's a moment that I still cling on to now that happened there. I stole his spell and used it on myself. And while I was affected by Command Word Hero, I couldn't bring myself to kill him. I wanted to help him. But maybe that's just me. Because even now, I still. When I heard how the curse said it wanted us to help your mother, at the very least, I've wanted to save it if I could.
I see. Looks back at the curse.
And the curse just looks up at you, same as before. It as it mentioned, either way, its long night ends. You either kill it here, or it gets its wish and it becomes human. And so it looks, and actually, as it looks up at you with like almost like kind of like crystal clear eyes, slowly it closes its eyes and just accepts whatever you're going to do.
Fuck.
There is no hatred for you. There is no resentment because it knows that it has fucked you over. It knows that it has killed your mother. It knows that it has done everything to you. And yet, it just, as it said, the only thing that it can do is beg for your forgiveness.
Now we're basically like the shoe is on the other foot. Now it is
Mhm.
the one that is facing someone wronged by it. Oh, shit. Will hasn't said anything. He just said he seems like he accepts all of this, but he didn't say anything.
I mean, if you want to read his gaze, like he feels like everything that he has ever thought about you is absolutely correct. Like you are proving every single thing he has ever thought about you. You are completely controlled by your emotions. You have zero logic to your actions. You should have
Dear
been
God.
removed from the decision-making process. We don't know why you are still in the decision-making process. Let's hope that this doesn't horribly misfire. But yeah, you let your emotions overwhelm you, move away from the easy route. He could lead us to the second chart.
All this while smiling.
So
No, he's not smiling.
Yeah.
He is not smiling.
So as he mentioned,
He
so,
is not
but
smiling.
he's not actively taking measures to like stop you or anything. Because again, to Bell, either way works for him. It's just that he thinks that you were making a really stupid decision, but he's like, you know, it is what it is. If it's gotta die, it's gotta die.
Yeah.
On one hand, it is what it is, and on the other hand, like he is not surprised in the fucking slightest. Like this checks out with everything that he expected to happen.
Yeah. This is gonna just look at all of you, looking progressively more tired as she looks at everyone. It's like this was meant to be the best day of her fucking life.
Yeah.
You know, she finally gets to kill this thing. And now it's just this.
Yeah.
And she's just gonna pinch the bridge of her nose and gonna walk back and be like, do whatever you want.
Oh my god. Okay. Nishio, as Elizabeth slowly walks away, slowly opens his eyes. And there is it's not a smug smile at all. It's just like it's a genuine, like oh, okay. Maybe I can still hope for the future. As Nishio just like sits there for a moment. Is there anything else that you want to know? I can tell you anything that you want to know before we take the final steps to ending this nightmare.
Nothing on my end.
Then let us go. As Nishio slowly goes to stand up.
Ooh, just one issue.
He pauses.
So you know, it just looks different. We said we were going to take this thing out to the Rakshasa, and while we are doing it, it's a bit of a delay. Are they going to be okay with that?
Most likely not. There are
Cool.
features. They can be avoided. However, how to deal with them afterwards, if everything goes according to my plan, I will have no power to save you from them.
I mean, technically,
We
This-
just, yeah, we've killed the curse. In that regard, right? So it should be fine.
Nishio like
I mean,
slowly
I guess the Rakshasa's priority is to get their freedom, just like everybody else here. Be freed from this generational contract that they have been in. Even if this wouldn't 100% fulfill the contract, which I think it should, then you can still argue on a technicality.
Will pedantically follow their contract to the letter. That is one way or another.
Well then, let us go to tomorrow. And with that, I will end session.
Decent.
I was fully prepared for him to turn into a mush. I was very.
Oh.
Fucking Liz wasn't even gonna use the fucking the sharp end of the sword. She was gonna go the blunt edge, just bludgeon him to death.
Well, I'm glad we did. I'm okay. Cool. Cool.
Such a
Um,
terrible thing to do as well.
Oh man. Oh well, there we go. We are now near the end of the campaign. I know I've been saying that for a while, but we now only have, assumingly, either 1 or 2 sessions, depending on if everyone keeps to their promises. But all right then.
We made friends with the curse.
Yeah, because this is
That's a very generous word.
Hey,
Friend is a generous word.
hey, Mom. Good news. I know it was hard enough to keep one kid, but listen, I have a
That's the long question, is that do you forgive and trust the curse enough? Because as I mentioned, the curse is a victim in all of this, but also It is it's a paradox. It is both the thing that has caused so much pain and misery, and yet also at the same time, it never meant to do any of that and does not want to do any of that. And so when you allow something like that to be born into the world as just a normal person, as a fun fact, the party before you that did this camp before did not forgive it and killed it. They beat it to death with hammers. So, you know, it is what it is.
Have we not put the Discord link on the description? Pix is asking about it.
Oh my god, not again. Ow.
It should be in the description. Hold on, let me go look at that.
No, it has. It's not again.
It's
It
not?
keeps disappearing.
How does it keep
What
disappearing?
the fuck? I know that it's in the fucking C Squad description because people, you know, why it keeps disappearing from here.
Yeah, the character art inspiration Google Doc is there, but
You can join that one.
yeah, I forgot the Discord
Does
link.
anyone have the Discord link?
Yeah,
Share
so
that
wait,
shit.
someone go get the Discord link and we can link it in chat. I never saw a Discord link in a
Hold
couple
up,
of videos.
give me a
Whoops.
minute.
Whoops.
Give me
There
a
you go.
minute.
Oh, well, to be fair, at the start it was missing, and then we put it back in, and then at some point it disappeared again, it seems. So,
There
It's
we go.
because I reused the wrong settings. That must be it, right?
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
There we go.
Next time.
Yeah, next time it's gonna be there.
Oh man, but yeah, there we go. Oh boy, I'm really all right. We just have to keep, as Albert said, you guys just have to keep it together and not betray each other for literally one more session, and then
For 5 minutes.
then the entire campaign can end next week if all of you just don't betray each other.
Listen, I'm thinking that dream world thing Festus was talking about sounds pretty good.
Yeah, you know, the rose would have much better use if we had 3 shards instead of 1.
I mean, I did say to you, dear.
Yeah. And oh man, just as a side note, I'm very happy that you talked to whatchamacallit, Luvia at the end, so I could again refresh you on Hephaestus's character and the good parts about what he was trying to do, just right before I got to do the Nishio Lord dump as well, so to realize exactly how much Hephaestus messed up. Oh, I love Hephaestus so much, but anyway. He is one of my favorite villains I've ever created. But you know, it is what it is.
He is great.
This is such a journey, man.
Who's
We
the
need to make
worst?
the family tree later on.
The family tree is so warped. Anyway, who do you think is a more evil person, Aleph or Hephaestus? Who's done more wrong?
Oh fuck!
who's
Like,
who's
who's
the
done
worst-
more wrong?
I don't really remember Aleph's
Listen,
story, so can you like refresh it?
who's the
Aleph was
worst
also a little bit of a
human
dick.
being?
I think Aleph was more of a dick than Hephaestus.
I do think,
but, like,
just
slightly
on,
so.
on Raw being an asshole, I do think that Aleph was more of an asshole. Yeah.
Aleph was
No,
a
because
bit
like
more
I feel like we
outwardly
haven't gotten like
egotistical, you know.
I feel like we haven't gotten like what do you call it, like more about Aleph.
We got it
My
a while
opinion,
We
ago.
never went
In
in
my
depth.
opinion,
Yeah.
compared to like
as in-depth
Festus.
with Aleph.
Oh,
Two
man.
ancient perfectionists.
Correct. Yeah, because I just think it's funny because they are very similar, right?
Next campaign,
They're-
they team up.
Ooh.
Yeah, that would be so funny if we had like a fucking Harmacists crossover event, like an MCU.
I would
Harmacists
really-
Cinematic Universe.
I would really like to hear Hephaestus's music combined with something that would be like Aleph's theme, and that would be so sick.
I think Aleph actually has a theme. I think Rax made one.
I do think
Exactly.
Hephaestus does have a bigger body count, so in terms of the raw
He was a
amount of
player
people-
after all.
In terms of the raw amount of people that he's killed,
Yeah, but he was immortal. Aleph was like, you know, he was like, he was a startup company, you know. Was he in comparison? I
Yes, they
think.
were
I don't-
dealing with different budgets, that's for sure.
that is correct. That's a
One
funny
had a
way to put
warehouse,
it.
the other one had America.
That is a very funny way to put it. Oh man, but yeah, I've long since wanted to say that because I love that part. If I had to pick up one of my favorite parts of the story that I've made, I do love that it was just a simple oversight by Hephaestus, that he wanted to create a wish granting device. Hey, Hephaestus, who makes wishes? Who makes wishes, Hephaestus?
Happy people.
It's
Yay.
people that are depressed and sad and need help. What is your wish granting device going to be filled with, Hephaestus? Hey, moron.
Yo, this is a random question, but if we do wish for the curse to become human, all those souls that were trapped and part of the making of this whole thing,
That's a
would
good
that
question.
then would Charon have to get a bigger boat?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Well, we'll think about that later. Don't worry about it. Well, we have to get there first.
Dio. It would be so funny if
He's gonna need a
like,
big boat.
when he actually became human. Like it's just like the Kyurem one, like just like popped out. Like when they fused, like after like they defused, like it just popped out.
How the curse / Nishio knows so much. So in terms of, are you asking about the servants or no? Because so the reason that the curse / Nishio knows so much is because it has the memory. Oh, he literally has the rules of the Grail. That no comment.
Thank God.
Look, I got the cheat sheet.
All I'll say is, okay, well, no, I'll let you in on it. I'll spoil it because if
Are you sure this is good Q&A content right here?
Oh, I mean, it is, but it's either going to be spoiled this session or next session. The pieces putting them together is because, so remember, Daigo had made a pact with the serpent because Daigo at the end just wanted to die. So he made a pact with the serpent, even though he hated the serpent for his entire life, and that he was going to somehow use the Grail and some sort of ritual in order to get what he had wanted, to bring mercy upon people. But campaign, it did just spoil us. Yeah, I know. So, just as a heads up, I reminded you all, or I said that the seal on this specific gate was really weak, and also that the bindings around him were really weak. And also, I had mentioned before, very briefly, way earlier in the campaign, that Daigo and quote unquote Nishio had seemingly known each other. I will tell you that if Elizabeth had cut off Nishio's head right there, his shadow would have evaporated and it would have been the Grail. You were walking right next to the Grail right now. What had happened was that Daigo put the Grail into the curse, which is also why all of the servants, summoned were corrupted by the curse. All of it only summoned servants that knew despair, because it was corrupted by Rocco's Basilisk. It was corrupted by endless despair. He was a quote-unquote wish-granting device. That's why he had capability with the wish-granting device of the Holy Grail.
Wait, so if we just took Grail, would we have won?
Well, so no, you still would have had Caster and Berserker and whatnot. But yeah, there was like technically a few loose ends, but yes, that was going to be one of the reveals. But if Elizabeth had cut off his head, the Grail was inside of that shard of Rocco's Basilisk.
She would have been so happy. That would have been her ideal. He would have been dead. The Grail would be in her hands. That was a Elizabeth nut moment.
Just a little info dump for a newcomer, by the way, Peaks. If you do want to catch a campaign from its very early stages, we do have a JoJo campaign tomorrow that's on its 3rd session.
Yeah, Don
so Febu-chan likes him.
Viewers, bro.
Yeah, so Don Lappy, there you go. There's a little Q&A sneak peek as a hey, wait, why did Nishio seem to always know everything? Because even before, Nishio seemed to know all of the masters. How does Nishio know that information? Nishio is the Grail. That's what Nishio is. That's why he can answer any question.
Yo, you gotta keep this information for the Q&A stream afterwards. Yo.
I can't believe my new brother is the Holy Grail.
Your brother, our brother.
Our brother.
Yes,
Nobody's brother, if I can help it.
And Honey's our dad.
Yeah. That's where it had been after all of this time. It was Nishio. In fact, you would talk to the Holy Grail a couple of times, or at least the thing that was that had it inside of it. Because specifically the shard that was known as Nishio, quote unquote, the one that got all of the memories of the serpent, which was slotted in. And that's also why, by the way, as a side note, that's why Daigo put the Grail inside of Nishio specifically, because that shard, the quote unquote Nishio shard, had no combat power at all, as it had mentioned. It only had the memories of everything, and also seemingly regretted for what it had done very deeply. It had none of the anger and would not use the Grail immediately to kill everyone. It has just kind of been sitting there waiting to die.
Oh damn. Well, I do have to go. Y'all can continue talking. Thank you for the great session. I'll see you all next time. Sadly, my lights are going out. So
Yep, yeah, 'cause we
goodbye.
watch it, yeah, goodbye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bye.
it's going like in FNAF.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right,
it's
so yeah,
over.
so and thank you all. Special thank you as a brief to King of Canyons, Gulags, and then King of Canyons again for the gifted. Anyway, yes, I salute you. Thank you all. It was actually all makes sense. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for joining us on this wild
That was
ride.
great.
And we will now peace out.
Bye.
See you
Next
guys.
session, we gotta bring out the family tree. We gotta actually like finish it.